To lead the Skol chant and sound the Yeller horn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to the Let's Skol Show. I'm Fish. As always, I've got with me Mr. Positivity, Cody Bowden. Hey, who greets with smoke, Skolful Shack. Our Captain Keith will be joining us in a little bit. He's got Keith stuff he's got to do, but he's going to join us here shortly. So tonight we got a recap of Week 4, and we're going to review. The first 5 weeks. We're going to take some time to reflect on the early part of the season. We're going to take a look at how it's stacking up against our off-season expectations. And remember our position grades and record predictions. How they looking now?
Oh, looks like there's technical difficulties.
Well, it's just me and you, Cody.
All right, let's roll.
Let's go to the bowl.
How about that dope hat that Shaq got from Minneapolis, though?
Yeah, I had to bring a little piece of Minneapolis back to Maryland.
That is all I wanted to say. That after a couple weeks of seeing your very first game, has that moment and that feeling left you yet, or?
Besides watching the game, that whole experience was amazing. I don't know if all stadiums are gonna be like that, but Minnesota actually did their thing, giving you that first, like, this is a big event. Even though there's like 16 games and they always play there, it's like I could see people doing a bunch of events there. That's why I was glad when Minnesota actually made it a dome. So like, even if they hold concerts there, it's just a nice atmosphere and the aesthetic of it on the outside.
Yeah, 100%.
I gotta give Minnesota that.
And since this is the bye week for breaking the ice, right? What do you want to see this week from the NFL since the Minnesota Vikings are not playing, Shaq?
Shit, I want to see us be on the phones. You can look at what Fish has on his under his name. Like, I want Minnesota to be on the phones while they watching teams play each other, and all the players are on their bye-week vacation. Quasi, KOC, all the coaches need to be scouting their team and finding out if they can make it better before they have to hit the road against Philadelphia.
What about you, Fish? What are you looking forward to during this bye week? Like, what should happen, or what do you want to happen while the Minnesota Vikings are not playing?
Every single team in the NFC to lose or tie.
Yeah.
Every single one. No, I'm probably gonna watch the teams, or at least pay attention to the teams that are kind of important to us. Philly's playing right now. Giants got them in a dogfight. Detroit, just the upcoming teams, see how they're doing, how they're looking. But I'm probably not going to actually watch a whole game. If it ain't Minnesota Vikings football, I'm just not watching it.
Yeah, I hear
Other
you.
than that, I'm not going to try to give myself a heart attack at work on Sunday to make it onto the aftercare or watch the game, and probably watch a condensed game or two. But is there anybody in particular that you all be focused on, or are you just going to chill?
I want to be focused on that Bengals Packers that play this week? Yeah, I want to see, after looking at the Packers after that dominant win against the Lions, how they actually stack up to a team that we beat. So then we look forward to, hey, that Packers team could be very beatable. I know what the Lions are going to do. They play a really good Kansas City team. I do not want to see the Lions win, because if the Lions win, and they're instantly going to be vaulted up into that, hey, these guys are Super Bowl contenders, probably the favorites in the NFL. And I just don't want to see that in our division. You know, we talked a lot of crap about the Lions being downgraded this year. They look like they're still good, man. And I just want to see them lose to the Chiefs this week.
Well, one of the caveats that I gave when I made some of my troll posts about them being downgraded was their roster is still good enough to keep them dangerous and, competitive, but their brain drain is eventually going to catch up to them. I mean, I'll tell you what, they do anything more than the first round of the playoffs this year, then Dan Campbell definitely deserves Coach of the Year.
Yeah. And it's funny looking at Dan Campbell. Those players play for Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
That is our team plays for Kevin O'Connell, right? And they really want to get him wins. But man, that's something else over there in Detroit, to where you just stack around a coach that the only IQ he has about football is blah, 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 and then they go out and do that. Yeah.
I mean, and not only the coaches, but their interior three on their offensive line has all changed. They lost their all-pro center, and they're not giving up the interior pressure yet. Wait till they play us, though. Let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. We squeaked out a win against them in London, 21-17. Our defense was normal, bend but don't break. We did get gashed by the run, but we held them to 17 points. Once again, our offense had penalty and turnover issues, and thank goodness for old Jets and that excellent final drive. The O-line played surprisingly well, oh my God, I thought we were going to get demolished. And it's not just for backups. I mean, they genuinely played well. And so, like the last week, it came down to a final drive for the Vikings, but they had more time and got it done. So we've had 4 sleeps. What are your takeaways from that game, Shaq?
Takeaways from that game was, apparently we do have a quick pass game. It's just been hidden. Apparently, it's just been hidden when you don't have your star offensive lineman out there. You gotta play with your backups. That's when the quick play game comes into hand. So shout out to our depth, because we kind of been complaining about, well, we don't got our starters out there, and lo and behold, our depth came to play. Not just anybody. They came to play against the number 1 defense. So I got to tip my hat to our makeshift offensive line.
With a guy who never played center before in college or the pros.
Makes me wonder. Can we just
do that? So what you're trying to say is there was some 3-step drops? Is that it?
3 steps, 2 steps, screen game. I think that was one of the keys. That was one of Cody's keys.
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn anything about this team from that game, Cody?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy looking into these games and seeing our backups play. not only seeing our backups play the actual game, but actually play better than the money that we spent over free agency. You know, like you look at Jonathan Allen and Gravedigger, right? Gravedigger had a huge PFF score. He's number one, I think, on the team. But you didn't really see much of that, you know, going forward. But you can see the backup defensive line doing things in that game over them two. And then you look at the offensive line. Them backups were doing arguably probably the best offensive line we had all year doing what they were doing out there. And that worries me. Okay, we pay all this money, these players coming on this team, but they're not contributing as much as what the backups are. So who really wants to play football on this team? Is it the guys that probably just signed a check and like, well, I got paid, that's all I need? Or is it the guys that want to come out and they want to make the team? They want to be the starter. They want to be the players of the Minnesota Vikings. So that's kind of worrisome going through the future. I wonder how that's going to play out. And the next takeaway for me is Carson Wentz on the final drive of the game. It was very reminiscent of Sam Darnold from last year, which is also scary for J.J. McCarthy coming back. The guy on the last drive went 9 for 9, 71 yards, game-winning touchdown to Addison, right? When you needed him, like we call Darnold, when you need him, he's going to show up. You know, it's like the guy drinking the Gatorade cup. I got it, you know, and he goes out there and does it. So, and that could be also worrisome because we saw what Sam Darnold did in big games versus really good playoff opponents.
Like Cody said, Shaq, you know, that final drive, we needed to go about 80 yards. What was your confidence level when we did that?
Before or after?
Going into it. It's like, all right, here we go.
It was, being a Vikings fan is like 50-50. Like, I had no faith. It's either it's going to end in an interception or we're going to drive down the field. Because the way we play is like, you can't predict how our last drive with us, because, you know, teams aren't afraid to kick us the ball back. If we need to score, they were like, okay, just give them the ball back. We've seen it against the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'll say I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
My confidence in that drive.
KOC's last 2-minute offensive scheme has to be studied because it's literally out of this world if you really look at it. Like the Bears game, what happened? Last 2 minutes, McCarthy, you know, runs the ball in the end zone. All right, and that seals that basically puts the nail in the coffin. Even against the Falcons in the loss, we drove the field in the last 2 minutes, and then he threw that pick, right? We were still driving. And then you look at last year, right, with Sam Darnold and all his 2-minute drives, and then all those one-score touchdown games to where we score the final touchdown of the game and the defense holds it for us. I wish we had that for 4 quarters, not just the last 2 minutes of the quarter.
I don't know that that's KOC, though. I think that's more sense of urgency on the player's part. I think that's going to lean more into it. I mean, you can call any play you want, but if you're getting murdered, it's like stepping up your game. And I mean, execution is execution, and when it's time to play, it's time to play. That's what I was saying in the group chat. What I'm kind of surprised about for McCarthy's benefit is I'm surprised that we haven't done more up tempo.
Yeah,
because I always thought that the way that you help a quarterback who's got to get his rhythm and he's having a tough time is you go up tempo. And really, what the hell is the difference between going 3 and out and taking 3 minutes off the clock or going 3 and out and taking 45 seconds off the clock at this point, right?
Yeah.
There's so many 3 and outs, it doesn't matter. And maybe, just maybe, you might be able to get your guy going. Going back to something you said earlier, Cody, I looked at it, and Hargrave in week 1 against the Bears had 2 sacks and several tackles. And since then, he hasn't had a sack, and, he's just sort of there. So I guess he's being graded well, but, he's disappearing. He's not making plays. Him and Allen, as I've said 100,000 times, they're not known for stopping the run. So I don't know, man. I'll say it till I go to the grave. running a base 3-4 defense without a stout point of attack nose tackle is absolutely pointless.
Mm-hmm.
We should just go to a 4-3.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what was more impressive to you? Holding the Browns to 17 points, even though they were just moving up and down the field, or putting up 3 touchdowns against their defense?
I'd say the 3 touchdowns, because we know this is what the defense does. It's a Brian Flores defense. It's a bend but don't break defense. You know, you're going to probably give up a score, maybe 2, and that's about it. And the rest, it's going to lock itself down. It feels like a bunch of Tetris pieces falling down all game, right? And it's like, and then finally they lock down at the end, and then that's what a B-flow defense is. I think that us holding us going 3 touchdowns against that defense was way better, especially with the backup quarterback that not many teams want as their backup quarterback doing what he did in that final drive.
What do you think, Shaq?
Yeah, I'd agree with Cody that scoring 3 touchdowns against the Browns defense, it kind of shows that our offense, they can score against the best defenses in the league. It's just we got to get a rhythm going, and it could be contributed to something that I'm pretty sure Cody might bring up later: continuity, playing time. Like, I'm pretty sure the stars we have out there don't have that many reps at all in practice.
Yeah, I think scoring against them is probably the more impressive because their offense has not been known for putting up points. Their defense has basically just held things down when they could. But even like when they played the Lions just kind of got away from them. They just couldn't hold them down long enough. Bringing up Carson Wentz and his performance sometime, I'm going to kind of throw a little something extra in here. Just a question that popped into my mind, guys. Carson Wentz, I guess he kind of got the reputation for being a little bit cancerous in the locker room, like with what happened in Indy. Do you think he's matured and settled down? Do you think our coaching staff might have got him under control to where all that's gone and he's just a pro again? Or do you think maybe he's still a lurking problem?
I think because he played behind a future Hall of Fame quarterback, he kind of knew his place in the league, right? When you're sitting behind Patrick Mahomes and you're like, oh, yep, this is my place, I'm probably no longer a starter, right? And then he gets thrust into this situation. I think he kept that humbleness of being that position as a quarterback too. And then when he got the opportunity, you can tell him he's ready for, like we were watching him during the pregame warm-ups against Atlanta. He's out there throwing out dimes and stuff during the warm-ups. And he's always behind KOC. He wants the call up, but he knows, hey, I'm not going to bark in the ear of my head coach to, hey, I should be starting. Or I'm not going to bark to players that I should be starting. Right? This isn't my team. I wasn't drafted by this team. But when I get the chance, I'm going to be in there.
So, kind of putting a ribbon on this, the Packers only put up 10 and lost to the Browns, and we beat them. Is there anything to take from that?
Any given Sunday?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it boils down to. Any given Sunday. Matchup wise, that's why it's hard to say, well, this team beat that team, so there's no way we could beat that team.
Right.
I feel like it boils down to matchups and whoever schemes the best with the personnel they have, which we've been harping on KOC for a while too. Like, play to your personnel. Stop acting like you got 5 all-pros on the offensive line.
Yeah. Just notice here some of the notes about that game. So Darisaw came out. He was pulled in the 4th. Rouse came in and played 24 snaps, gave up a pressure, and had the second best PFF for the O-line. There anything to say about that? Is that just sort of a kind of, okay, we got lucky, or does that show – I mean, once again, he probably had Myles Garrett lined up across from him, and that's a hell of a way to come into a game.
I think that deals with good coaching. Our offensive line coach, right? I bet he got on these backups. Like, hey, you're getting thrusted in this position. Make the most of it. Why are you out there just giving up things in these last 3 games? This is your time to shine. You might not be on this team next year. You might be just cut, waived, and then we add someone else to replace you or draft someone or get an undrafted free agent for you. Because at the end of the day, you are an undrafted free agent or you're a 7th-round pick. You better show up, and I think coaching got on to him. And I'm not saying KOC as much because I feel like he's kind of too much a nice guy. But I think that offensive line coach, and we like to blame the offensive line coach for a lot of mistakes, but I honestly think the coaching got on that offensive line and those backups.
And before I toss this over to Keith, hello, Captain, I want to say that this segment of Let's Skol was brought to you by the new Diet Coke with lime, retro
with
can,
lime.
with that
Fancy.
crisp zingy flavor.
Zingy.
What up, Captain?
Not much, guys. Just these sports for my kids are kicking my ass. Practices every day, and they're late at night, and I don't know, man, it's kicking my butt. I don't remember doing this. I haven't had to do sports for a few years.
That's how you've been losing weight?
Yeah, that way and that way only.
Stress.
So you guys are talking about Darisaw coming out, being on a snap count. Are you guys actually buying that he was on a snap count? Or, I mean, there's a lot of credit going out saying that maybe Darisaw might have felt a little pain. Maybe Darisaw took himself out. Maybe things weren't great because the week before he played 76 snaps. And Darisaw said after the game that this has been the plan the whole time to be on a snap count. Where the hell was that snap count last week?
I think because who he went against, a lot in that game. I think he had 44 snaps versus Myles Garrett in that game. I think it dealt with the player and then constantly rushing or trying to block that player. He probably did kind of get hurt or felt soreness against it. It wasn't like against the Bengals where he had 26 snaps against Hendrickson. Like there was a difference in play in that player he was going up against. So he probably felt some soreness because the player is a lot better than whoever he went up against last week. Say, hey, I need to take a break.
Do you guys agree with that, or do you guys think that by design he came out for the fourth quarter in a close ball game that we were losing in?
He could have probably got hurt, or like he didn't feel 100%, because that's what they always been saying since week 1. He's going with how his body's feeling. That's why we didn't put him on the pup. He should have probably played against the Falcons, but I guess he wasn't feeling 100%. And the Vikings are kind of leaving it towards the players to basically say how their injury is going along.
Yeah, especially this year with the injuries that are mounting up.
I think if it's by design, it's you play as long as you feel like playing, and then you come on out. We're going to trust you to know how your body feels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems like that might have been what happened, unless there was actually an injury. But I mean, this isn't my idea, but I'm thinking if it was a snap count, I like what people are saying, like maybe you don't play the first quarter, maybe so you're there at the end of the game.
So we don't score points in the first half.
We don't anyways. We don't anyways.
I think
we don't anyways.
I think a snap count was like a fabrication to, put something out there.
Well, putting Rouse in against a maybe tired Myles Garrett is better than catching him right off the rip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just found that interesting. At first, I was buying it. I mean, because I was just being totally gullible, like, oh, yeah, they had a snap count for him. But then Darisaw came out and he said, like, oh, yeah, this has been the plan the whole time. I was like, no, man, you played double the snaps last week. That hasn't been the plan the whole time. Something changed between that game and this game. And hopefully it's something serious. Good. I'm going to keep saying this throughout the night, probably. Good thing we have the bye right now. Like, It's a great time to have an early bye. Normally I hate the early bye, but it's a great time for it. You got a fish? You got a catch for us, Fish?
Hell yeah, I got a catch. And let me tell you something. It was really tough to come up with like that pivotal landmark play where the game was decided, man. I went all the way to the final touchdown, the throw to Addison. when we finally took the lead, and that was it, and then we won the game, because really this game was just sort of a mix of good defense and bad offense, and it was really hard to catch it. And then look at that throw. Look at that catch. When the play happened, the announcer said that oh gosh, what's his name? Ward, the cornerback for the Browns?
Charlie Ward?
Charlie
Denzel
Ward, yeah,
Ward.
they said he was baiting Wentz
Denzel
to throw
Ward.
the play because he did
Denzel
not think.
Ward.
And
Charlie
He did
Ward played
not-
basketball.
Gotcha.
he played quarterback for the Browns too.
No.
True that.
He,
But
No.
he
You're
was-
thinking Charlie
he was
Batch.
baiting
Now you're
him.
thinking Charlie Batch.
all right.
He was baiting him. He didn't think that Wentz could make that throw. And
I believe I
Wentz just-
remember hearing that.
Yep. And Wentz just touched it right over him and made him look like a fool. So it was a great throw. Pressure was on, and got us the win to cap off a really good professional job.
I just like this view, but it's not a great video. But I just like this coming at you. Boom.
Yeah.
That was great ball placement over the top of that safe or corner.
And let me
Looks
just
like
say
he's still
something about number 3. I need that guy to clean his act up. We need him on the field at all times. When he's on the field, things are different. Shaq, talk to him.
I'll try, but we got to party first.
Well, Fish, you made my unofficial hot take not hit because I had said that your catch is going to be the Justin Jefferson catch on that drive, the 21-yarder on the sideline.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson had himself a game. He's on pace for 1,600 yards with Carson Wentz at quarterback.
He did, but it was tough to find like a play where it's like that's the one. And then I just that throw, that catch, touchdown got us the lead. It was the closest thing to really hitting it for me.
Not a bad play. Not a bad play. So speaking of Jordan Addison, who did have that game-winning touchdown, he also had a crucial third down conversion on the sideline, which I think was maybe even more impressive than the touchdown because that was a tough ball to catch, and he showed some hands on there. But obviously something happened because he was benched for the first quarter, and it actually took me a while to realize he wasn't on the field. I'm just kind of sometimes used to our stars getting ignored, but then I was like, oh, man, he's actually not playing. So what do you guys think of those rumors that, maybe he was having a little too much fun in London and, he might have shown up to the walkthrough but got sent away?
Well, I believe him with his track record. 100% believe what happened in London happened in London.
Go ahead, Shaq.
I believe he hasn't reached that maturity level yet, and that was probably the first time he left the country. Wait, did we left last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Jets.
I don't know. I don't know what to say to the boy. Like he gotta learn business and then pleasure. If he can't handle the pleasure, he's not gonna have the business aspect. And he's gonna be.
Well, I'm gonna say nah. My boy 3 would never do anything like this. I think that just because he's had a couple problems in the past, that now whenever something weird happens, we're always just gonna assume that it's because he did something stupid and reckless, and it's gonna follow him for the rest of his career. He's gonna blow out a snot bubble on the sideline, and people are gonna think that he decided to give the whole team COVID. Maybe he was just late to the walkthrough for no reason other than the time zone difference.
The only one, right?
Yeah.
Totally plausible.
Happens to all of it. Maybe the jet lag took a week to get to him.
He probably hit up Sam Donald, told him wake him up when practice starts.
Maybe Jets was just like, I can't have this boy making too much money. I'm not going to be his wake-up call. I'm going to get him in a little more trouble. I'm just saying. Why is it always got to be the worst-case scenario?
You're trying, Fish, and I don't know if he's got you on retainer or what it is, but you're trying.
Should.
So Cody, Addison's impact on the field, it's obvious. We've been a different offense with him, but are the off the field stuff becoming a little too much, especially because he's going to be due a contract soon, and if he didn't have any of these issues, we're talking about a guy who's probably in command, close to $30 million. Like, is that starting to become out of our range, especially with the off the field stuff? Like, do you think that maybe they consider trading him?
I mean, I think it all depends on what draft position we have, honestly, if we want to trade him, right? And what we can get for him to move up in the draft if this year ends on a dud or disappointment. But it is becoming concerning. You have the pulled over incident about his dog going to a vet. Then you got the DUI, and then you have this, and it's all alcohol related. I think every event has been alcohol related. Honestly, I think he'd have 2 DUIs right now. But it's a young receiver, right? If you look back into Vikings' great receivers, a fellow great receiver had the same issues, but with a drug, and it was Chris Carter, right? And then what happened to Chris Carter? He got moved over, and then he became a great for us. But he was still a good wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. So he needs a mentor out there to let him know, hey, you need to get your shit together. And I think Justin Jefferson explained it awesome during the press conference about I had my words with Jay about the situation. It's not about you as an individual. It's about us as a team going forward. And no matter where you go, if you're not on this team, it's still about the team and not the individual. And I just go and blame it on being a young wide receiver, especially out of USC.
Yeah, especially out of USC. So, Shaq, I know they would want to see him end up getting traded. I know you want to see him remain a Viking no matter the cost. How are you feeling that this off the field stuff is going to impact that?
Well, it's up to him, honestly. I think I said it last year. I literally said it last year in like a closing statement where I was talking to Jordan Addison directly. I don't know if you ever watched that video, but it's kind of like the whole world's watching you. Yeah, you're good on the field, but once you start having slip-ups, all your haters are going to come to the forefront and start bringing up the off-the-field issues and then start saying, well, you're not as good as you think you are. So in order to do what you want to do, Jordan Addison, you got to make sure you keep your head focused on the game. And if you have to party and do all the other stuff, do not drive. Do not be liable. Have a fall guy like Warren Sapp said, or Ray Lewis. One of them said that.
Chris Carter.
Like, have a fall guy, but don't put yourself in harm's way, because at the end of the day, the spotlight is on you. It's on the other 52 players because you have the biggest spotlight being a football player. So just watch out, be careful, and just keep being great.
Yeah. I mean, he is young, so there is some of that where, some of it you can kind of look, okay, he's just young doing dumb things, but it's been something every year. And the fact that he just came back from a 3-game suspension and then come back, like on his tip-top game and, minding his P's and Q's, it took 1 week until we're hearing about him again. So that does kind of concern me. And every time he gets in trouble, I do try to defend it because I like Jordan Addison. I like him a lot. I do want him on this team. But it is scary to think that we could end up devoting a lot of money to somebody who could do something that causes him to not be on this team. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a worry. And it's what's crazy is I don't remember him having like these issues in college. I don't remember him being said that he was a problem off the field or anything like that.
He was broke.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there, the money might be having something to do with it.
Let's get paid.
Or maybe he was good at it then.
Let's get paid.
He wasn't good, but he was good at it, right? Yeah. Right, Cody?
It blows my mind too, especially after the cornerback death that we had last year because of a drunk driver, and then he immediately gets a DUI right after that. Like, that blows my mind. That's individuality. You should not be on a team as individual. It should be about the team, always about the team. And there's a lot of things I'm with Jordan Addison that I dislike. Great player though. I want him on this team, but The individuality's pissing me off.
Well, we have another wide receiver on this team who's not pissing us off, and that's Justin Jefferson, who had 7 catches on 11 targets for 123 yards, really coming into his own in these last 2 games. He actually surpassed Anthony Carter as 3rd on the Vikings all-time list for receiving yards, and he's only around 1,500 yards away from Moss. You guys think he can get that this year in the next 12 games?
100%.
So wait,
100.
the only game he didn't have 100 yards was the Falcons game?
I don't think he had it in against the Bears.
Oh, okay. I had to make sure.
Yeah, right now he's
I
on.
don't think the first 3 games he went over 100.
Yeah,
This is probably-
yeah, you're right, Fish. It was just his last 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Right now he's on pace for 1,600 with Carson Wentz.
But he is currently 1,500 yards away from Randy right now.
Yeah, so he would need 15 over 12 games, which is, a little over 100 a game. Maybe have one of those big, 160-yard games, so doesn't have to get 100 every game.
I think he's going to come up just a little bit short, and that's going to be the big thing coming into the next season, talking about him breaking Randy's record next year.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, we go on a Super Bowl run. Then he'll get it.
Does playoff yardage
No,
count?
playoffs don't count. No, it's just regular season.
Oh.
Okay.
But I mean, that motivation, baby. Maybe we need to get it into the playoffs. We need to win these next couple games, and he goes and has one of those games against the Detroit Lions where he had the 200 yards with a much better quarterback in Nick Mullins. But I think he can get it done with JJ or Wentz. I didn't mean to say that Mullins was better than JJ. I wanted to say he was better than Wentz, but I realized what I did there, so I messed that up. So this is the second big game in a row that Justin Jefferson's had with Carson Wentz, also the return of Addison. But like we said, the first 3 games, he didn't have 100 yards. Is there any concern that if JJ gets back in the fold, that this kind of messes up what's going on with Justin Jefferson and Wentz?
I mean, it's rookie quarterback. Yeah, I think it will mess up the fold.
I think it'll mess it up for a week or 2. I mean, the first week with Carson Wentz, he didn't have over 100 yards. Get JJ back in, get him used to the offense. He'll have a week or 2 where he'll it'll step back. But then as it gets going, when we start getting some momentum, them 100-yard games will come.
I hope so. I'm just scared that there becomes like musical quarterbacks here, and then it throws off any continuity we got going. But we will definitely talk these quarterbacks a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we go ahead and give out our game balls? When the Vikings lose, we make players run laps. When they win, we each give out a game ball. We also like to give out a team game ball, and this week it's going to the guy we just mentioned, Justin Jefferson, balled out. For our individual ones, Cody, who are you giving your game ball to?
So my game ball is going to be the guy that scored the final touchdown of the game, missing a whole first quarter, Jordan Addison. To miss a whole first quarter and to be reprimanded, probably screamed at and yelled at, and then put in your place to come out and do after that first quarter and what he did, he definitely just gives him my game ball. He just came back resilient. It's like remember when Aaron Jones dropped that ball and then he goes out and he catches the game-winning touchdown. It kind of felt like that, but a little more harsher.
I had a feeling one of you would take him. Fish, who's your game ball going to?
I don't want to.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
I don't want to. Now that I've thought about it, I just feel terrible putting this on film. My game ball goes to Isaiah Rodgers.
What was that?
My game ball goes to Isaiah Rodgers.
Is there something wrong with your microphone? Can't hear you.
My game ball goes to Isaiah Rodgers.
Oh,
it's not for anything that he did. It's for the simple fact that nothing happened on his side. And looking at his stats for the first third of the season, he's done a pretty good job over on his side, keeping everything quiet. So I got to recognize him that Isaiah Rodgers gets my game ball this week.
So would you say that on Rodgers Lane, all roads are closed?
Welcome to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
And Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is not accepting homeowners associations right now.
I like that, Fish. I like that one. That was a good one. I wish I would have thought about that. That's a good one. Shaq, who you giving your game ball to?
So mine is a little wonky because it's not every day you have your game ball go to the Minnesota Vikings punter, Ryan White.
Okay.
A lot of people were trying to cut him during the all season because, they say he took a step back and like we could do better, cheaper with a foreign kicker or a foreign punter. But Ryan Wright, he kicked the 77-yard punt that pinned the Browns on their one. Talk about flip the field. He did that. And that's pretty much all you want from a punter is to be able to, when your offense can't move from their end zone, at least be able to punt it as far as you can. And boy, did he do that. He also averaged 57.2 yards.
That's
on
monstrous.
286 yards. So shout out to you, Ryan Wright. Keep it up. And we might not have to cut you next year.
Hey, you make a good point on that last punt where he pinned them, and then the Browns had to go the full field. Otherwise, that could have changed the game around a lot, and maybe we don't get the chance we did to get the touchdown. That could have been a good catch. I didn't even think about that one. So that's actually a great one, Shaq. For me, last week I made the whole offensive line run laps because in unison they were terrible. This week, I'm giving the whole offensive line game ball. They were awesome. We were all worried about that offensive line, thinking, oh, man, Myles Garrett. To a lesser degree, someone worried about Mason Graham. But didn't hear those names too much. We only gave up 3 sacks, and 2 of those I would put on Carson Wentz for holding the ball too long. Penalties have been a problem. We only had 2 penalties that were accepted for a total of 15 yards. The Browns came into that game number 1 in pressure rate at 90.1% of passes they get pressure. In this game, 27.5%. Now, you might go back and look at PFF or something and see their grades are bad, but I really don't care because nobody knows how PFF grades players, especially offensive linemen. If you watch that game, the offensive line handled business, and it was by far the best performance by an offensive line that we had, which is crazy because we had a center who had never hiked the ball in his life before in a game, and we had an undrafted free agent playing his first game in Joe Huber. So by the end of that game, we had 4 backups in there and only 1 starter, which was Will Fries. So offensive line, you all get a game ball.
Nice. Do we have a left guard controversy?
No.
No.
But, I mean, if we had a center, we might have a left guard controversy for who's backing up Donovan Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we saw is we have some depth on the line, which, it's not Drew Samaya coming in. It's not Udo coming in. It's like, all right, if this guy's got to come in, we could be okay. I mean, now I probably don't want to see this offensive line we put out there for an expanded period of time. But like I said, if one of our guys goes down, I feel like we have a person to step up, except at center. That's still got to be figured out. I don't know that Brando could be a long-term solution there.
Can we give up a lap run real quick though? Just in general.
You want to make somebody run a lap after a win? You are a drill sergeant, Cody. Go for it.
It's an international game, correct? It's a lot of spotlight on the game, even though it's early in the morning. The NFL wants to push these international games, but watching the game on Sunday morning, watching the camera angles was just god awful. It wasn't like you would see on a Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. This is a big game. It's an international game. You're broadening out to the world right now. And then add on top of that is the spider cam in which Will Riker kicks his field goal and it bounces off the spider cam. Those people who set those cameras up on the weird angles we had to watch during the game and then the kick off that spider cam, they are running the laps. God.
Okay. That's fair. And yeah, I'm just really surprised that didn't get caught. Because, Fish, if you remember on Aftercare when you came on, you hadn't seen the game yet, and we were talking about how bad that kick looked, how bad it went, off to the side, like never seen anything like it. Well, that's why, because we've never seen anything like it. And I just wonder what would have happened had the Vikings have lost that game.
Now I know I would say.
I mean,
refs.
aren't the rules of the NFL that it should have been a re-kick?
It should have been.
It's supposed to be. So if we would have made it, we don't have to worry about the re-kick. But if we miss it, we get the free kick for free.
Right, but see, obviously they didn't catch it because we didn't get to kick it again. So what happens? They didn't catch it, and then after the game, they see, oh damn, that hit the camera. Sorry, you guys lost by 3.
Yeah.
Mm.
And even if they re-kicked it, they would have to take the camera completely down to be a pause in the game because this is how bad it was set up.
More
if you watch
importantly than all that, I have to go back and try to find where my hot take was about him being perfect. Did I say under 60 or under 50?
You know what? I have a feeling one day like there's going to be a list that has all of our hot takes, and we'll figure it out. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but you know, it'll happen.
It's actually kind of easy, you know.
No, graphics are easy. This is
yeah, that's what I've heard.
I'll still give you that hot take though, Fish. I won't count that cable for blocking his kick.
I don't know. I think I might.
Well, he just missed a Pro Bowl now because of that kick. That's money. That's money out of his pocket.
If you watch that field goal kick over from like the end zone view, like that thing was going like it was gonna go straight and just go right through.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like when you watch that thing live, the kick was like, and like it just hit, what the hell? Is he okay? Did he just tear his hamstring again or something? Like what just happened?
I thought it hit a bird.
I don't know what happened. I'm like, ain't no way he kicked it like that.
They should, Tommy, but they won't. Just like the MLB won't give Armando Galarraga his perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
Or give Jared Allen the sack record.
Or give Jared Allen the sack record. That kind of stuff just doesn't happen.
Will Riker just missed on $1 million bonus because he can't make all pro because of that one missed kick.
Well, good, because we don't got any salary cap then. So maybe I'm for it.
Oh, God, what a hit.
Man, so the Giants are beating up on the Eagles 27-17. Huh.
And driving.
And driving. Very interesting. Very interesting. So after week 5, here's what they're saying in the power rankings. PFF has us at 12, which is up 2 spots from 14.
That's fair.
Creeping into that top 10. ESPN has us at 16, which is up 1 spot. Yahoo has us at 17, which they kept us dead even with where they had us last week. NFL.com's got us at 16, which is up 1 spot. And Pro Football Talk has us at 18, which is even. Do you guys feel like we're more like top 12, or is this 16, 17 stuff kind of where we should be?
16, 17. I do not feel like we're a top, we're not there. Right now, I feel like in our iteration before we get healthier again, I feel like if we played a really good team, we'd get our asses kicked.
Mm-hmm.
We get a few more pieces back, we'll be there.
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
I'm in agreement to agree. I mean, I think I take 16, but I think 17 or 18. I mean, you know they're close, but I don't think we're that bad. Especially, we'll get into some more of this talk to see why we're not that bad.
Yeah.
PFF upgraded our chances of making the playoffs to 29% and winning division to 9%. And we have a 1% chance to make the Super Bowl. Playoffstatus.com actually has us at a 45% chance of making the playoffs. Coming into that game, they had us at a 38% and a 5% chance to make the Super Bowl. FanDuel has us at plus 250 to make the playoffs. Last week, they had us at plus 280. So some things trending a little bit.
I kind of agree with the power rankings because we beat 3 teams that are probably not going to the playoffs. Let's not do that. And we beat and we lost to 2 teams that are probably going to be the worst teams in the playoffs from each conference, and the Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think the Atlanta Falcons win out of the first round, and I don't think the Steelers win out of the first round. And we lost to those teams.
Right. Well, we lost early. Like, how many times has there been a team that made a run in the playoffs and they started out the season, like 2-3 or something, and they had a slow start, lost the first couple of games, getting their feet under them? I do still think there's potential for us to be one of those kind of teams. So speaking of which, let's get into the state of Skol. How are the Vikings? What are they doing? Where are they at right now? Well, they are 3-2, currently sitting 3rd in the NFC North behind the Packers and Lions and just ahead of the Bears. We had hoped that at this point going into the bye, we'd be 5-0 or 4-1. We really aren't that far behind that trajectory. It just feels like we are. The injuries have been brutal, but we have a chance to get healthy. Now if the bye's here, thank you. Thank you for having an early bye. The next 4 games, those are the ones that we called the gauntlet. I actually think the gauntlet's a little bigger than that. Fans seem to be getting hot and cold with KOC. Expectations are high. Patience is low. And now let's look at some stats of how things are going for this team. So we thought we were going to be an offensive team this year. And so far, we've been a defensive team. Points per game, we're 15th. Passing yards per game, we're 19th. Rushing yards per game, we're 23rd. That is not the team I expected to see this year. However, on the other side of the ball, we're 5th in points given up. We're 3rd in passing yards allowed, which is pretty damn impressive, 157 per game. The rushing yards, that's eating us up. We're 24th. But I can live with it because they're not scoring, right, Cody? Bending, not breaking?
Bending, not breaking. B-flow defense.
So the thing that really sticks out to me here is a turnover differential. We're at -2. I think last year we finished the season like +12, +13, something like that. Like that was something that contributed to our success. And penalties, we're number 1 overall. We have the most penalties. That really makes it tough. Like why are we getting so many penalties, Cody?
There's so many penalties. It's contributed to the 27 brand new players on this 53-man roster. That's over half the team is brand new to this team, right? So you got players like Kelly, Fries, Jackson, right? And then players actual playing in season games like Roush, Jurgen, Skol. That's 6 players alone that are all taking their first snaps in a regular season game for the Minnesota Vikings. Then you go over to how it can possibly get better for us. Well, you got JJ McCarthy in the wings coming back, and well, that's a brand new cadence caller. It's no longer Carson Wentz, in which the team is getting used to with cadence calls, especially with this offensive line being depleted. So KOC has to figure out a way to simplify his game plan to lower those penalties, right? Especially with cadences. It's going to be tough, right? We're going to see mistakes. We're probably going to be top 5 in penalties for quite a while. It's just going to take time. It's 27 brand new players to this 53-man roster. Not a lot of people think that's a big issue because they're professionals. No, it is a huge issue, especially when you're interchanging quarterbacks with different cadences. And add on top of that, a whole new offensive line. What did you say? 4 out of 5 brand new starters on the O-line. So it's going to be difficult.
I don't know, man. I think that players that are 30 years old or close to it and have been in the league forever should be bulletproof with regard to where they play, how long they've been playing. It's just this simple. Pre-snap penalties is a lack of discipline, and post-snap penalties mean you got beat. That's it. So we got to get our discipline down and stop false starting and stop having illegal formations and stop being offsides, and then we'll be fine.
Yeah,
we get beat every once in a while. We are.
Well, what's crazy about that, Fish, is I remember the illegal formations being a big problem for us last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt like we were getting at least 1 a game. So now that you say that, you just brought back, PTSD of that. Like it seemed like at least once a game we were getting that. So to me, there might be a little bit of a coaching thing.
Yeah, could be. And the thing is, we didn't have a lot of the other penalties to go along with them. And now it's making it really bad. So,
Shaq, I'm going to give you a chance here. But the thing that sticks out to me about these 44 penalties, 10 of them are special teams. and 2 of them have wiped out big returns by Price. So 10 special teams penalties in 5 games. That's a problem.
Yeah, but 22 offensive penalties is even a major problem.
No, 22. That's not good. That's not good. Okay. I didn't say it was. But you got 12 by the defense and you got 10 by special teams. That's pretty bad. What were you going to say, Shaq?
I was just going to say we can't forget that KOC likes to do a lot of pre-snap motion. So kind of like if the timing is off, the ref is going to throw the flag for either illegal formation or offsides on the offense. So it's kind of like it's a give and take. If you want to make your offense look fancy, you have players moving around, but they also gotta know when to stop and where to be lined up after they motion. Otherwise, you're kind of gonna be hit with all these penalties, and then instead of starting 1st and 10, you're doing 1st and 20.
Who's those pre-snap motion penalties been called on, though? I know one was on, I think, Xavier Scott. That's a brand new player.
I mean, I could probably look that up, but I don't have the information on me. But I do think most of the time it's a receiver or a tight end.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, Fish? Our defense being ranked so well and our offense being ranked so low. Was this the expectation that you had coming into the season?
Well, the offense being ranked so low, no. I mean, when I saw the defensive lineup, I thought that our front seven was going to just be tough as hell. And I mean, the fact that our secondary is being surprisingly good, is our secondary being surprisingly good because teams can run on us, control the clock? I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of that. So defense being this good, not surprised, fully expected. Offense, it's going to start churning. I feel like we're going to start getting some ground, and where are we at? Offensively, we are 15th for points. Maybe we'll get up a couple of spots on that, and the yards per game are going to jump. We're going to start getting more yards in these games as we get stuff worked out. Needless to say, our offensive line has had, 2 really bad games. And that's kind of hampered our points. I mean, not our points, but our yardage.
I think it's crazy that at 24.5 points, we're 15th. I mean, teams are scoring this year.
Yeah.
But we're not giving up. We're not at 20 yet. We're not giving up points.
Hot take is still there, baby.
Which one was that?
The secondary will be top 5. Defense will be top 5.
Well, Byron Murphy Jr. is doing his best job to not be there, but Isaiah Rodgers is holding it down.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be an all-pro to hold that down.
Mm-hmm.
So here are some other stats that I picked up on, and I just want to see which one is the most surprising to you guys. That after 5 games, Justin Jefferson only has 1 touchdown. Josh Oliver has 2 touchdowns. Adam Thielen has 4 catches. Jonathan Grenard only has 1 sack. Jalen Redmond leads the team with 3 sacks. As a team, the Vikings only have 2 interceptions. And Ivan Pace leads the team with solo tackles with 23. And Cam Akers has our leading passer rating.
I didn't see that one.
Let's put one in a touchdown. Come on, bro.
But Cody, which one on here is the most surprising to you?
So the most surprising has to be Jonathan Grenard with 1 sack through 5 games. And I'm looking at Justin Jefferson's stat. I'm not saying that because he has 1 touchdown. He gets us to the red zone, right? And then the ball goes to either Josh Oliver or Hawkinson, right? It's because you got the out of bounds line, that's a defender, and you got 2 other defenders going up against Justin Jefferson, right? And it allows for other people to get open. Our quarterback is finally looking at other people open and throwing the ball to him, i.e. Carson Wentz. But yeah, Jonathan Grenard with 1 sack through 5 games. I thought he's going to have a career year this year over last year, but 1 sack, that's tough. That means they are really getting on a Jonathan Grenard without Van Ginkel out there on the field. So they can't, so they're allowed to double team him.
Yeah, I had predicted that he's going to flirt with 20 sacks. I'm not feeling too good about that right now. What about you, Shaq? Which one of these is the most surprising?
For me, it'd be Ivan Pace leads the team with 23 solo tackles. Because every time I see him tackling, it's like he's struggling out there.
So he's waiting for them to come help him, right? They're holding on for dear life.
So it's kind of like to see him leading the league. Well, not the league, but leading our team in solo tackles. Maybe he's doing more than what meets the eye. So I have to go back and look at, is he really struggling as bad as we see?
That's a fair point because, it caught me off guard too. Like, I could see him leading the team in total tackles because he's in on a lot of tackles for the assists. But, these are solo tackles. So I don't remember who was the next closest, but it really wasn't that close. What about you, Fish? Which one of these are jumping off at you?
Absolutely. The fact that our team only has 2 interceptions, and I think they both happened in the same game. Considering how, because you had the Isaiah Rodgers pick 6, right?
And
then I think Metellus had an interception later on in that game. So that's it, right?
Yep.
This team has been so opportunistic in the last several years that we've kind of lived and died in that bend but don't break has been, yeah, you're going to drive on us, but we're going to cause a turnover at a key point and have some stupid celebration in the end zone. And we haven't, especially considering how well we're doing against the pass. So here's the positive spin on that. That tells me we're breaking up passes.
Mm-hmm.
We're forcing incompletions, and we're not getting the picks, but our defense and our defensive backs in particular are in good position to just simply play defense and not have to result in, one of those punt INTs that we talked about last year or anything like that. So it's surprising that we only have 2 INTs, but considering how well we're doing against the pass, I think it's actually a foreshadowing of good stuff, because when we start picking the ball off as the season goes along, that means we're going to be running up the score on some people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. The Jefferson 1 touchdown does kind of surprise me a little bit, but the one that sticks out more to me is Adam Thielen with only 4 catches. Now, I wasn't expecting him to come here and be a Pro Bowler, but I did expect him to come in here and be a help, especially for games with JJ McCarthy and especially when Jordan Addison was out. And it's not like he's not playing. I think I saw he's ran somewhere between 80 and 90 routes, and to only have 4 catches, like that's really surprising to me, because we saw the graphic before the season that he was one of the receivers that's still getting the most separation. I don't know where that's at. I'm still glad he's here, but now it's purely the feel good thing of it. And now maybe you wish it wasn't a 4th rounder that we're ultimately losing. Maybe wish it was like a 6th rounder. But yeah, I'm pretty surprised that Thielen only has 4 catches. But I'm not going to rule it out that he ends up doing something big that wins us a game this year. But to this point, I'm surprised.
Keith, how about the Justin Jefferson 1 touchdown? How do you feel about us being 10th in red zone scoring percentage this year so far?
That's good. Because normally we're like bottom 5.
Would you, like in the past years, would you be blaming that on quarterbacks looking at JJ in the end zone most of the time instead of, looking at guys like Addison on the slant or the out towards the end zone, or even Isaiah Oliver of all people?
I'll be honest. I'm blaming it on, Jordan Mason and the running game getting the touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that Justin Jefferson only has the 1 touchdown, but I'd also be just as surprised if he had 5, because he doesn't score a lot of touchdowns, but like you said, he gets us there. Mm-hmm. And it's nice to see that we have some players that can come in and finish it off, whether it's to run or, like you said, an Addison, a Naylor, even Oliver's getting in there. Like Oliver's been, pretty productive for that tight end too. I think he only has like 5 catches, but 2 of them are touchdowns.
All he does is score what, Fish?
Y'all better put some respect on that house with legs name.
Hey, it's been nice. It's not as nice when you have Hawkinson on your fantasy team and you're seeing the other tight end get the touchdowns.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
I'm going to say this one thing about Oliver, though. He can't run through a tackle for as big as he is.
Yeah.
He cannot run through a tackle.
I be looking like, Oliver, you big as hell. You getting tackled by a cornerback.
By his ankle.
Use those strong hands and those arms. Stiff arm, dude. You're good at blocking. You can block your way with 1 arm to the end zone. He tucks the ball and just gets hit in the knees. Ridiculous.
Yeah, they're acting like he's got 20 pass catches and has no yak or something. The guy's got like 6 catches this year. Come on.
How many yards after the first contact?
Now, you can't say that, Shaq, because that 32-yard touchdown pass, he got a lot of yak.
Yeah.
He said at the first contact. He wasn't contacted, so.
Oh.
And it negates all that.
after he get hit, it's like he'll probably get 2 yards. If
His
that.
back is down, but his yak
And that's
is
just because he fell forward.
So lots to talk about our next 4 games, and it's been that way since the offseason. This was called the gauntlet. We got the Eagles, Chargers, Lions, Ravens. I'm going to tell you, right now, that's not looking as daunting as it once looked, but make no mistake, that's still a daunting task. So that's going to start with the Eagles. Then we go to LA to the Chargers, and what makes that even harder is I might be there. So that makes that game a little more tough. It's not 100% yet, Fish. Not 100% yet.
Oh,
And then,
I'll tell you what, I'm about to send a message to your wife like, no, you find the honey-do list from hell that day and make sure he does it.
wait, is that what's going on? Because oddly enough, last week she's telling me, hey, on the 23rd, you need to watch the kids because I have to work late. I have conferences. I was like,
I can neither confirm
23rd.
nor deny.
I was like, wait, 23rd, that's 4 days after Kylie's birthday. Wait, no, that's a Thursday night game. I cannot commit to watching my kids. I might have to go to the Viking game.
Yo, you might have to put that out.
So that's funny that you say that, Fish. I might have to do a little deep diving. But what I'm also getting at is that is pretty tough. That probably is our 4-game gauntlet. But honestly, it looks like the rest of the schedule's a gauntlet. You got the Eagles, you got the Chargers, the Lions, the Ravens. Then you have the Bears, who are looking a lot better than they looked in the past seasons. Plus, it's a division rival. It's always a tough game. And you got the Packers, the Seahawks, who are playing surprisingly well with that new quarterback of theirs. The Commanders, and Jaden Daniels will be healthy. The Cowboys are an up and down team, but that's in Dallas. Never an easy game for us. And it's a Sunday night primetime game. Giants are looking pretty good. Lions again on Christmas. We don't fare too well on Christmas games, if you remember the last one. And ending the season with the Packers. Like, where is this schedule soft?
Well, I think that the Dexter Lawrence revenge game at New York will be a pretty good one for us.
Yeah?
Yeah. We don't have a soft 2 or 3 weeks in a row. We just don't have it.
Well, thank you for that, Steve. But they did beat you guys. No, you beat them, right? Okay.
Yeah, they beat.
Well, if you beat them and the Browns beat the Packers, carry the 1. Yeah, they're probably not that good.
Yeah, the Lions really turn it on after your game. They're pissed. I'd watch out for that rematch there, Steve.
Yeah.
They're scoring about 4 points a game.
The Lions look really good. And I don't know if every week Fish's win total for them goes up.
Oh, no. They've only won 1 game that I didn't expect them to so far. They're still only the most dangerous 8-win team in the league right now.
8 wins, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I look at this and I kind of see a struggle for us to get to 8. I'm not like if I'm being totally serious and thinking about it and taking my heart and soul out of this. If we make the playoffs, then we're gonna be a feisty team at that 7 seed.
Yeah, I agree with you, Keith, because I'm looking at this and I see 6-6, and 6-6 is not going to get us in the playoffs. But being a homer, a Minnesota Vikings fan, I can also say, hey, we're going to take 2 games. I don't know where, but we're definitely taking 2 out of this. That still doesn't get us in the playoffs. So we have to play really, really good football to get into the playoffs, starting 3-2. We knew that we needed to start really well off that the first 6 weeks, and at 3-2, man, it's tough, especially with the teams we got coming forward.
Damn, you're right, Cody. Sorry, I just saw Jalen Hurts throw an interception that Giants almost took back for a pick 6. Another team that we're going to play, it's not looking as good as expected. I mean, the Eagles started the season 4-0, but didn't look great doing it. Like their defense is great, but their offense, they haven't been doing anything. Like Saquon hasn't been Saquon. Jalen Hurts hasn't been doing nothing special unless he's doing a tush push. AJ Brown, I don't know, Shaq, your hot take. I don't know if that's going to hit, but I do think he will be out there at some point this season. I don't know if it's going to happen before our game.
You know what's scary about this game? I wish the Eagles win this game, because them losing to a division rival, man, they're going to be fucking mad next week.
Good. They'll be mad. Then they'll have that adrenaline dump after about the first quarter, and we'll roll.
So, Fish, looking at the schedule, you still have us winning double digits?
Did we lose any games that I expected us to lose? Yeah, I expected us to beat the Falcons. So, yeah, I've still got us at 10 or 11.
I like that. Someone's got to be positive here. What are you thinking, Shaq, looking at this schedule for the final 12 games?
So I'm going. We finished 12-5.
12-5, bro. If we go 12-5, I'm thinking Super Bowl. If we get out of this schedule 12-5,
Your words, not mine.
Lions are frauds. Green Bay's being iffy right now.
So you still got the Lions as frauds? Did I hear that correctly?
Absolutely, dude. Oh, they hung 38 on Cleveland. I mean, so what, man? and their win over the Ravens is now looking like it ain't shit because the Ravens defense is absolutely ass versus everybody. Wake me up when they beat a good team.
Malachi Sparks, huh? Starks, whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's the one bright spot, Cody.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
They whole defense just looked bad.
But we could have had him.
Yeah, we could have.
Sorry, Fish. I cannot let you down on the Donovan Jackson thing.
Look, just because I've been quiet about him don't mean I ain't got nothing to say. It's just I'm waiting. I just want to have.
So the schedule's definitely tough. And now the big talker that everybody's been talking about, everything I listen to, I can't escape it. I almost don't even want to talk about it because I've heard it so much, but we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't discuss it a little bit. And that's the quarterback. JJ or Wentz. What's this team going to do? Eventually, KOC is going to have to make a decision. We saw 2 games of JJ. We've seen 3 games of Wentz. Has Wentz played well enough to get another start, even if JJ is healthy and ready?
Yes, but looking at the schedule we just talked about going forward, looking at it, and you piece ourselves against these other teams, KOC really has to be looking at it like, okay, do we think we can actually win these games, or do you think there is a chance with JJ McCarthy at quarterback to win these games? I'm saying go with Carson Wentz. He has the hot hand. We saw him what he did against a really good Browns defense in that last drive, 9 for 9. I think JJ McCarthy, like I said, I think it was one of my calls or my hot take that JJ McCarthy will not be the starting quarterback after the bye week. And it's because of what Carson Wentz has been able to do with their offense, making it look like an offense going forward. So tough decision, but I think Carson Wentz is going to be the starter after the bye week, and I think he's going to be the starter for the rest of the year.
Oof. I mean, I didn't think that was possible, but it's kind of looking like it could go that way. And Scatterboo got his 3rd touchdown of the game. Could have had him over Ty Felton.
Matt Asiata.
Fish, what do you think? Has Wentz played himself into earning more starts even when JJ is healthy?
Carson Wentz had a 300-yard game and a loss to the Steelers. Other than that, he's been absolutely pedestrian. Sure, he had one great drive, and McCarthy had a great quarter. No, he has not played enough to lock it in. He's got a ceiling. If we keep him in instead of putting McCarthy in, we are guaranteed to maybe make the playoffs and be one and done again, because that's what he'll get us. We have got to go with our franchise quarterback. When he's ready to go, we got to go. Here's the great thing about Wentz. We put McCarthy in, and he gets, I don't even want to say it, but let's just say that Wentz is pressed back into service. He will be able to perform at the level we've seen him and get us to one and done in the playoffs again. But our ceiling, how far we'll go in the playoffs, is not dependent on Wentz. It's dependent on our franchise quarterback.
So, Shaq, you said you still see us going 12-5. Which quarterback gets us there?
Both.
Either one?
I loved it if you just said Brosmer.
I'm not on that level yet. I honestly think it's probably gonna be Carson Wentz until he starts playing badly or gets hurt, and then we're gonna go back to JJ McCarthy, and he's gonna be that fourth quarter against the Bears, JJ McCarthy, and that's when the fans are gonna be like, "See, I told you, you just got to be patient." Because I honestly don't think it's all JJ McCarthy's fault that the offense was struggling so bad the first couple games. It was more so dealing with injuries and that offensive line. Like, no quarterback was going to be able to get the ball off.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, that game we had a witness live. I don't think Wentz does any better than JJ McCarthy did. But it'd be a lie if I came out here and said that we haven't looked more like an NFL offense with Carson Wentz behind center. And that actually does hurt me a little bit to say because I'm a big believer in JJ McCarthy, but I'll be the first to admit that maybe we had the expectations a little too high, a little too early. I have all the faith in the world that JJ McCarthy is going to be who I believe him to be, but we came into this season with Super Bowl aspirations, or at least competing for one, because of what we did in free agency, what we did last year. We had high expectations. We didn't have the expectations to go through the hard knocks of developing a rookie quarterback. So that makes it difficult. Go ahead, Fish.
What you just said makes me feel absolutely 100% guaranteed that JJ McCarthy will be a starting quarterback, because just like 2 years ago, we looked more like an offense with Nick Mullins in the game, and yet for some reason we still kept trotting old Dobbs out there to put our wide receivers in the hospital and do whatever else. So, yeah, McCarthy's our starting quarterback. Thank you, Keith. You verified it for me. Appreciate it.
I mean, I'm not saying that he's not going to be. I'm very confused right now. Like, and what I don't want is I don't want a situation where Wentz is the quarterback for 2 weeks, JJ's the quarterback for 2 weeks, Wentz is the quarterback for one, then JJ's coming back in. Like, I don't want them, going back and forth. Like, I want there to be a decision, and I guess stick with it. And ultimately, I want that to be JJ McCarthy. I just, if I take my heart out of it, like I've been trying to do this whole show, I don't know what is actually better for this team to win this year.
If there's an analogy to put it, we're a fan base that's like a 6-year-old at Walmart. They look at something and it's, I want it now. I want it now. And it's a championship, right? And you look and nobody wants to see a development. Nobody wants, hey, save your money, save your piggy bank money. And then later you get something better, and like, that's an analogy of as a fan base. Like, we want it now, but you have a rookie quarterback. He's still a rookie, right? He's played 8 quarters in the NFL, and that's it. And then everyone's like, let's move to Carson Wentz. Do we have a better chance of winning with Carson Wentz right now? Yes. But do I want to see JJ McCarthy develop and then give us a championship later down the line in the future? 100% yes. And I would take the JJ McCarthy winning us 100% a championship down in the future over a one and done or a conference championship exit, because at the end of the year, we face the same things, right? We're picking in the 20s or we're losing in the conference championship game. None of those things are good.
Here's the reason why Keith and I in particular can't go along with what you're saying, Cody, as hard as you try. And that's because in the offseason, people were saying, oh, he's a rookie, he doesn't have any steps. And Keith and I were saying, he knows how to play football. He was made ready. KOC will get the best out of him. Not worried about that. So now we can't go back and say, can't do it. We got to stick by what we said in the offseason.
I'm a little bit doing it.
I wonder what I was saying in the offseason.
Because if KOC can't coach JJ McCarthy to become, something, and he gets fired, JJ McCarthy's not the quarterback of this team going on in the future. Doesn't matter what coach you bring in. That coach is going to bring another quarterback in.
My thing
so
is,
speaking of,
he can't fix JJ McCarthy. Can he be fixed? because we done seen KOC work magic with a lot of quarterbacks.
I don't want to say fix JJ McCarthy yet because I'm not calling him broken yet.
When's the last time we took a starting quarterback to start the year and be successful at the end of the year, like a conference championship game? Like, how long has it been? Did Dante Culpepper in 01 start off healthy to start the year as starting quarterback? Like, I don't think he did. Did he, or did he miss a couple games at the beginning of the year? Yeah, Brett Favre's probably the last one 15 years ago.
To play all, conference championship game, yeah.
Case Keenum came in the second game.
Yeah. There's Case Keenum. But like, when's the last time we made it to a Super Bowl with the starting quarterback to start the year? It'd be.
Well, you're also
that'd be the 70s, Cody, because we haven't been in Super Bowl since the 70s.
You're also making a really high bar with that, because how many teams make it to the conference championship? But if you're not the Chiefs or the Dynasty Patriots, how many teams make it to the conference championship just in general? So if you want to say how many teams make it to the playoffs, have double-digit wins, maybe get a win in the playoffs, that's probably a better sample size. Nobody.
We're done. We're sick of losing in the playoffs.
I get it, but for the sake of your argument, only 4 teams get to make it to the conference championship. Full stop. So.
But it doesn't matter to this fan base, because the inevitable is disappointment. It's the I want it now.
And I'll tell you what, I'm going to lay down on the floor in that aisle and kick and scream for it. And by God, because I do want it now. Mm-hmm. And my mama's going to have to grab me by my ear and drag me out of that store, get me in the car, beat my ass out in private, because I'm going to continue to kick and scream. I want that damn Super Bowl. I've been a fan of this team for 50 years. I'm not even probably the oldest fan of this team in the chat. There's probably somebody like George who's been a fan a little longer. I want my Super Bowl. Tired of it. Tired of being good. Tired of being great, but getting screwed by bad luck. Just give me the damn Super Bowl.
All right, well, let me ask you guys this. And remember, we're in a safe space. We're among friends. Should we have kept Sam Darnold?
No, because we have Sam Darnold with Carson Wentz at home. We know how far they're going to get us. We know how far they're going to get us. And I'm with the fan base. I want it now too, in a way. But I know what Sam Darnold's going to get us. Maybe ceiling is the appearance in the conference championship game.
Who would be missing from this roster right now if we'd have kept Sam Darnold on that contract?
Carson Wentz.
And $100 million contract is going to exclude players.
What, Jonathan
Allen and Hargrave?
Yeah, so hey, who would have kept Phillips?
I think Hargrave was the real reason we won in week 1, but okay.
Yeah, but with
it had nothing to do with JJ McCarthy.
Arnold out there, we don't have to worry
about. The fact
that
we even had a chance is probably from him, but go ahead.
With Darnold out there, we score in the first 3 quarters.
We probably score every quarter.
Yeah, probably score in the first half.
We're still sitting around like $30 million in cap. So to say that we wouldn't have both of them, that's actually not true. And I'm not even saying to sign him to a 3-year deal, but would you have given him maybe 2 years at 33 each and only 1 year's guaranteed? And yes, this is hindsight. That's why I'm asking this. It's a hindsight question.
Taking that
hindsight for who?
What he's doing with Seattle and the only receiver over there being JSN having a breakout year because his quarterback is Sam Darnold right now. Like, I think the dude leads all fantasy points right now, and wide receivers is JSN. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I'd probably keep Sam Darnold. We have better receivers here in Minnesota that Sam Darnold can sling it to.
So Sam Darnold, like his contract fish, like he signed a 3-year deal, but I believe like only 1 year is guaranteed. So it's not like he signed this ironclad $100 million contract. Like he kind of bet on himself.
And that was
we're gonna get a pissed off Philly team next week, Cody.
100% we are.
Yeah, AJ Dillon just fumbled the damn ball.
Yeah,
that was the contract I was trying to give him. 1 year, because all we need is him for another year. Hopefully, because we have JJ McCarthy on a rookie deal for 5 years. If he plays well enough in that third and fourth year, we can sign him to that 5th-year extension. But we don't want to waste his rookie contract. But we're going to waste Justin Jefferson's contract. We're going to waste Christian Darrisaw's contract because we don't want to waste a 5th-year rookie and just JJ McCarthy's contract.
Well, we could have just traded Jefferson.
Oh man, let's not talk about that tonight. Let's not do that.
I think the thing is we wanted JJ McCarthy to be ready this year right away. He's not ready. He's just not ready right now. I'd say if we brought Sam Darnold back for 1 year, let McCarthy sit another year, and then he comes out, I think he'd be a lot better off and ready than what we're seeing him right now.
In his defense, he hasn't had that many reps due to injury.
Yeah, and that's the issue, is that injury without real snaps and real reps, during the practice, during the year. Instead of I kept saying it last year, he's looking at this tablet. That's all. He's a tablet reader right now. He's not out on the field in the practice, taking snaps, throwing to receivers, getting timing down, on the out route, especially the out routes. The out routes is just horrendous to watch him throw right now because the timing's off. They're low. They're getting picked off a lot. And I think one more year of McCarthy sitting behind a good quarterback, and he develops a lot faster than he is developing right now. Because right now
he won't be getting live reps.
We're live reps during practice, actually touching a field with his cleats on, and not his Nikes. And looking at
practice. We're talking about practice.
Yeah, we're talking about it takes a lot of practice. About 10,000 hours to master something.
Commenter Shaq in the comments says AJ Brown and Smith are talking about what team they want to go to. Did you know there's another Shaq out there, Shaq?
I didn't know that.
He's a member. You should say what up to him.
What up? He probably a handsome fellow who probably thinks that Sam
cooler than the flip side of the pillow, I bet.
He owns the dopest Vikings hat of all time, too. Guaranteed.
I think he became a member by, going on YouTube and clicking on become a member, which is only like $2, I think.
Is that why his name's Green?
Possibly.
It's that easy?
That was funny. Not even playing. So, yeah, that's our quarterback talk. That's as much as we need to talk about it. I think we're all kind of, except for Fish. Fish is pretty adamant that when JJ is ready, JJ plays. I think the rest of us kind of like, whoever gives us the best chance to win that week. I would like it to be JJ. Don't get me wrong. I would like it to be JJ. Just, I'm not going to deny that we've looked more like an offense, and perhaps he's not ready. Maybe it needs to be one of those situations where Carson Wentz goes down in the third quarter and he has to come in and save the game and, do it like Tom Brady. Maybe that's how players come up. So maybe that needs to happen. But I don't want to wish it. I don't want to wish an injury on Carson Wentz either.
Yeah.
And we kind of didn't bring it up because Carson Wentz came back, but he almost got himself hurt.
His shoulder.
In the Browns game. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of looking like,
shoulder, yeah.
We might see Max Brosmer next week. We don't know.
That's sad. The fan base as a whole was actually getting excited about that. Like, bro, we're about to put in our third string, undrafted free agent quarterback, and we really need to win this game. But we're getting excited about this. I don't know. Like that was a weird.
They want that Rudy scenario to happen, man. They want him to come in and throw a touchdown.
They just wanted him to come in. Like, it was crazy, Fish. I mean, I know you're working, but like Minnesota Vikings fans on Censor was going crazy. The group chats are all going crazy. Like, oh, it's happening. It's happening. It's crazy.
Remember when Sam Darnold first got here and people were like, oh, it's over. We're done. We want the new. It's like we want a championship. We want new. A championship is new. We want new.
Tired of the retreads, Cody.
Yeah, 100% we are. Like, even with Sam Darnold coming here, we're like, oh, Sam Darnold sees ghosts. He's trash, blah, blah, blah. And then he does that for us. And then it's like, And
ultimately, he ended up seeing ghosts at the end of the year.
End of the year, yeah.
Shaq, you know what else might help us get to that 12-5 record that you were talking about?
What's that?
Getting these guys back. Blake Cashman, Andrew Van Ginkel, Donovan Jackson, Aaron Jones. They should all be back after this bye.
Yeah, because I think they was all on the pup. I'm not pup, but IR.
Van Ginkel wasn't.
Okay.
Neither was Donovan Jackson. Cashman was, and Aaron Jones was, and they're able to come back.
Mm-hmm.
What about Ryan Kelly? Can't come back until after the Eagles game, right?
He has to miss 3 more games.
Yep.
Damn, we just put him on IR. Fuck.
Yeah, it's not weeks, it's games. And like we've talked about, he might not come back.
I know. I was just in the event that he does decide.
And in the event that he does come back, he has to miss 4 games.
Yeah,
it's not just 4 weeks. You got to miss 4 games. But getting those guys back is going to be solid, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Getting Cashman back, getting Van Ginkel back, like Cody said, that's just going to make Gernard be that much better when you got Van Ginkel on the other side. My question is that, though, was that due to Dallas Turner? And what is Aaron Jones' role back in this offense now that, we kind of got Jordan Mason running along?
I think Aaron Jones, low key, is my favorite player coming back because we added Addison back to the fold. Addison changes a lot of things in this offense, right? And beforehand, we didn't have him, and we had Aaron Jones and Mason that first game, and it was like, there's something missing, right? Adding Aaron Jones with Jordan Addison on the field makes a whole different game plan for a defense to fight against, right? Now we got a running back there where we can throw screens to, or we can hand the ball off at the same time to with Jordan Addison. There's no more load in the boxes to stop Jordan Mason and Aaron Rodgers because we don't have the 2 wide receiver sets out there. I can still triple team Justin Jefferson and still load the box at the same time. Now you can't do that because you have to take away that triple team from Jefferson and place it on Addison, which depletes that box. And now you have Aaron Jones, who was averaging, I think it was 4.3 yards per carry before he got hurt. I'm excited, low key, for Aaron Jones, honestly.
I'm excited for him, too, for another reason. Week 1, I think I remember we started the game out, Jones got the start, but then the rest of the first half, it was pretty much heavy Jordan Mason. And that allowed Jones to come into the second half and help us close out that game. He was fresh, still had that energy. If you remember last year when we kind of tried to bell cow him, he was great in the first half and he was doing all kinds of stuff. But then in the second half, he didn't get stronger. He got weaker. So I love the fact that he could come back and make do I think he can do a lot for our first half offense? But our second half, being able to help close the game down, he can definitely do a lot for it.
And finally having every single weapon for the first time this year on the field together, not only the offensive line, but weapons that we wanted to see on the field all together, playing together, fully healthy, changes the whole game plan for an offense.
Do you think that Jordan Mason is now 1A?
Yeah, I still keep him at that starting running back position.
I don't know, 2 fumbles.
Yeah, that's rough too.
I think we're too quick to call somebody fumble prone, though.
Yeah, I think he's 1A. Aaron Jones is 1B. It just depends how you want to run your offense that week. Who are we playing? We're playing Eagles team that obviously cannot stop a big running back up the middle. We're watching it right now, right? So Jordan Mason's 1A in that game. We go up against the Ravens. They can't stop a receiving running back at all. So guess who's 1A in that game? It's going to be Aaron Jones. It's another dimension to this offense, again, adding all those weapons for us going forward.
Dude, they've just taken the will away from the Eagles, the Giants have, and they're just keeping first down. Like, they got that fumble recovery. I don't know how much time was left on the clock, but it's down to the 2-minute warning. They're just bleeding the clock, running up the middle on them. Like, they broke their will.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't like the tackle, you do not want to see number 44 come in your direction.
No.
He is not going to try to juke you.
He must have came from a good conference.
I tell you what, with his play style, I bet you he came from the SEC because, that's where them hard-nosed good players come from.
Probably he reminded me of a Bama running back,
Yeah.
Surprised Robbie don't talk about him.
Who?
Exactly.
So yeah, no, we'll be getting healthier. So that's definitely a good thing going forward, especially with the schedule we got coming up. Just another thing I kind of want to touch on. I mentioned it earlier in the segment was the fan base on KOC. It seems like hot and cold with him, and it kind of seems like it's been that way since he got here. But I'm noticing a lot more this season that fans are on one end of the extreme or the other. Why is this, Cody? Like, he was coach of the year. I think for the most part, he's done a good job. Why do we have fans that don't like KOC?
So I think me and Fish mentioned it earlier. I know Fish really hit on it. It was urgency. You look at KOC in the 2-minute offense that we have, and it's every single year since it's been here. 2-minute offense has been awesome. It drives the field, and I think it's because you're down, 1-score game, blah, 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 and the urgency is ramped up. I think if we see more urgency from the first quarter going forward, everybody will be on the spectrum. KOC is the GOAT, but we don't see that. We see zero urgency after the first series, and it's such a giant lull from the offense. Like, no points scored. Offense is barely moving forward. We're not what do we always like to say? Pedal to the metal. Stop the gas pedal. Let's keep going. There's a zero urgency until it comes to the end of the fourth quarter, and we've seen it every single game this year. Look at the Bears game. No urgency until that final quarter. Didn't see any urgency versus Atlanta until that final drive where we actually drove the field until J.J. McCarthy used that pick in the corner. Then you go into the next game, the urgency of keep scoring. Let's keep going. I think the Bengals game was the best urgency from the offense because we kept it going. And then last week's game versus the Browns, the urgency in this 2 minutes of that game, scoring, right? We drive. And it's weird seeing that year in and year out, game from game out, that the urgency only picks up in that last quarter or the last 2 minutes. We want to see the urgency start from the beginning, right? Your team is a feisty team. We're scrappy. We're always in 1-score games. Why are we always in 1-score games? Is because our feet aren't pressing that gas pedal hard enough. We're not in urgency mode every single down, every single series with the offense.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know if it's because he just never looked like he's flustered or trying to get to the next gear. I don't know that he doesn't have the urgency. I just don't know if he really shows it. But I don't know. Fish, I think you might be one of the more critical ones of KOC. And why is that?
Okay, so why do we have such a dichotomy of a fan base? Okay, it's real simple. The ones who are fans of his are fans of intentions. They're like, oh, he's great with the quarterback. He's a quarterback whisperer. He's a great motivational speaker. He's good at all this stuff. And, we've had these winning records. And then the people that don't like him are simple. They want results. We haven't won a playoff game with him. What are we in year 4? Is this year 4 or year 5?
4.
We have not won a playoff game. We've had winning records, and then we've gotten bounced. And as a fan base, we're sick of that. So the ones that don't like him are saying, you ain't done shit yet. Win a couple of playoff games. Then maybe, Coach of the Year is great. And doing what you've done with the players you've done it with, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Win me a Super Bowl. That's why we're the 6-year-old in the store. We're saying, no, we've seen all this before. This is not a success to us. 13, 14 games, getting the most out of the QB. All right, fine. Win us a damn Super Bowl like that. And that's just it. So, yeah.
Damn. But, Fish, do you know how many teams can win a Super Bowl?
Absolutely.
You set pretty high expectations.
You're right. It's simple. A coach, when they take over the team, they're either going to do it or they're gone. And the problem is that this ownership has shown a little bit too much patience. So he's either going to do it or he's going to meander. This ownership will not say, all right, well, you're up and then you're down and then you're up and then you're down. And even when you're up, we don't win a playoff. So obviously you're not the guy that's going to get us to the promised land. Goodbye. No, they're going to say, he's really great. He's great in the locker room, and he says the right things, and he's handsome and he's charming and all that.
Damn,
and because of that, we're just going to let him sit here and keep doing double-digit wins and no playoff wins.
So, do you have KOC on the hot seat? It sounds like you do. Sounds like you do.
No, I don't have him on the hot seat. But I'm just saying that's why. That's why there's two sides to this. From what I can see, is because of the way that we see it. The ones that like him see the potential. Man, look at what he did with our quarterbacks with Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullins, and look at what he did when we were just injured to death, and look what he got out of Kurt. And it's like they see that, all we just need is just that little, and then we're there. And the ones that don't are like, we ain't won nothing. So there's nothing to get excited about. We're kind of tired of this.
Where you at with KOC, Shaq?
Well, I'm still in in KOC I trust mode, because for the offense, what he did was he basically got us out of the Zimmer hell offense, which is basically all he wants to do is run the ball and make sure his defense could stop the offense, make sure the defense could get the ball back, and our offense will protect the ball. With KOC, he's showing us how to use an elite wide receiver and basically be more creative on the offensive front. That's why I like when we brought in KOC, even though I was mad when we fired Zimmer, because I feel like it wasn't all on Zimmer, because it wasn't all on Zimmer for us losing. I more so blame Spillman, but that's a story for another day. So it's kind of like the reason why I feel like a lot of people don't want KOC is because he started off hot. So they want to increase, the expectations on him, because he came in. We went to the playoffs. We was looking like one of the best teams, but then he lost to the Giants, which isn't his fault. We did have a chance to win, but when you got to score 30 points to win a playoff game, that's not a good recipe for competing in the NFL, especially in the playoffs. So what KOC has to do is he has to show growth. And I feel like half the fan base is kind of antsy on getting to the promised land, because they see all these other coaches winning playoff games and winning Super Bowls within their first 4 years. So KOC has to kind of step up, even though I'm still in the KOC I trust era.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on most of the things you said. But before I get into me, I just want to welcome everybody who just watched the New York Giants defeat the Philadelphia Eagles 34-17. Welcome to the Let's Skol Show. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out. It doesn't cost you anything. Fish, who is our sponsor tonight?
The new Diet Coke with lime, a refreshing twist in a retro can.
Gotta go get me some of that. So I'm still weighing in on KOC. I get mad at him just like anybody else, because I'm very reactionary. You guys might be familiar with my game, but overall I like him, and I feel attacked because it's a lot of the things that Fish said. He's a good guy. He's changed the culture. He's got us winning. He's done this with the quarterbacks. It's and he's handsome. So everything that Fish said, yes. And Fish is critical, hasn't won us a playoff game, but I think about those 2 playoff games that we did go to and lost. We weren't expecting to be a playoff team. It's much to his credit that we even got to the playoffs. So for a lot of the time that he's been our coach, we've been turning this roster and been doing the competitive rebuild, and I think a little bit been a victim of his own success. But I do think that period has run out, and I do think it is time to put up or shut up. And these next 12 games are going to say a lot about KOC, because Well, I think it's going to be very tough for us, to win even 8 or 9 games at this point. If he can get us double-digit wins and get us into the dance, man, I'm going to have a hard time being mad. Like, even if we were to lose a playoff game, like, I will be super impressed if we make the playoffs. But he does got to show something. He is coach of the year, and he just got that contract extension. But thank you for attacking me, Fish. USC should be running. Oh my god, there's a big USC fan, just like you, Shaq. This other guy, Shaq, in this room, big USC fan.
What I was going to quickly say also is another reason why people don't like KOC is his run game is inconsistent. Like, we've been waiting since Dalvin Cook for him to find a run game that's remotely decent. We're starting to see glimpses this year, but we need it throughout the whole season, not just here and there.
I'm not subscribing to this, Lenny, and I think Fish has said this a couple times. The Eagles are going to be tough next week. I don't want to play the Eagles if they lose. Bro, you guys forget the Eagles lost last week at home? They didn't look too pissed today. They look like defeated. I am not worried about the damn Eagles coming to Minnesota. I need to stop doing that.
Group chat will tell something different. not to kick off in, like, when Riker doesn't kick it into the zone. Like, I knew it.
We're doomed.
Cooked. We're cooked.
When's the last time the Eagles beat us in Minnesota? Wasn't recent, right? We haven't played recently.
Was it Sunday? Was it Sunday Night Football?
That's when they ran the ball on us. They kept running the ball.
Like 250 yards.
That was in Philly.
Huh.
I think the last time we played was when the guy, say he ain't worried about Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins got him cut.
Oh, the linebacker.
Yup.
Was that 18? Yeah.
I thought that was the Saints. Cam Jordan.
No.
He said something too.
Cam Jordan said something too, but he said he likes playing the Kirk Cousins quarterbacks.
We like guys to make the right slow decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the NFC North right now is looking like this: Lions 4-1, Packers 2-1-1, Vikings 3-2, Bears 2-2. Is this pretty much how you guys envision the division going? The division going. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Boy, that tie really does things, don't it?
It does. It makes it look funky, but it opens up possibilities as well.
Wait. The Packers is 2-2-1?
2-1-1.
Oh, 2-1. Damn it. That's why. It's that loss. I guess losses are worse than wins being great.
They have a better winning
because they have that one less win. It looks like we should be ranked higher than them, but their winning percentage is actually higher than ours.
So we should be shooting for more ties if possible.
No, losses. Look at the tie. I give them the whole loss. Like that Cowboy game. Damn, Cowboys. Can't depend on them for nothing.
It's going to be a tough week for everybody but the Packers next week. But Joe Flacco is the new quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cody, you got to call it?
Oh, yeah, I got to call it. All right. So I didn't want to make this call it, but I recently found out news of Joe Flacco going to Cincinnati. Joe Flacco likes to sling that rock. We saw last week with Jamar Chase finally getting his, and then Higgins not really, but he got some of it. I think with Joe Flacco, it makes the Bengals a way better team than Jake Browning. And I'm looking at what the Packers are putting on the field, tying with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a really good team still, all right, and they're going to get better. They did that without a CeeDee Lamb. So I think the Cowboys are still a playoff team. I think they're the best team in that division, getting rid of Micah Parsons, just watching the Eagles play. But my calls it this week is every NFC North team will lose this week. I'm looking at the Lions versus the Chiefs on a Sunday night football game. The Chiefs are mad that they did not get that win against Jacksonville. the Packers playing a Joe Flacco-led Bengals team, a guy that wants to sling the ball, a team that has to sling the ball because they cannot run it because that offensive line is so bad. Sorry, Chase Brown fantasy owners, it ain't happening this year. That dude ain't going off like it was supposed to happen, Keith. Vikings, bye week. That's already a W for us. So we don't count that out of the way. Bears versus the Commanders. All right. It's a revenge game for the Bears. I get it, right? With the big Hail Mary pass. But I think the Commanders, especially seeing Jaden Daniels back last week and seeing what he did last week coming back, the Commanders steamroll the Bears. Again, I think every NFC North team loses this week, and the Minnesota Vikings become that number 2 team in the NFC North.
You know what's crazy with Flacco getting traded to the Bengals? Like, they're going to start him this week. And, he just got over there, but Browning's been that bad, they're going to start him. But Joe Flacco has a chance to do the funniest thing. Because Joe Flacco already beat the Bears. The Packers. Already beat the Packers a couple weeks ago. He could become the first quarterback in history to beat the same team twice on different teams. So, Cody, I think you had this call it ready and loaded before the trade even happened. And I remember, I was looking you think the Browns are going to beat the Packers, bro? All right. I don't think I can rock. I don't think I can rock with that. But, I don't have a lot of faith in Joe Flacco. But, like you said, the Bengals do have weapons. They were considered a Super Bowl contender with Joe Burrow. So, are they a Super Bowl contender now with Flacco? Absolutely not. But does he have a better chance at getting the ball to those weapons? Yes. So, I don't think it's likely to beat the Packers. It could happen.
But this is
selling fish.
Cody's missing one important key element in his prediction, his call it. And it's not the fact that the Commanders didn't look that great with Daniels in the lineup at the beginning of the season. More importantly, it is the fact that the Bears have the Lord on their side now. Hail Marys are going to work for them instead of against them now because of the new Pope having come from Chicago. So that's where the weakness in his call it is. I think Chris Jones is going to have a career game against the Lions. I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Lions. I think there's a strong possibility that the Bengals are going to beat the Packers. But I think it's going to be the Bears with a little bit of divine inspiration that are going to end up beating the Commanders.
Well, the Commanders just got to not make it a close game at the end and not allow that opportunity to happen. But I hear you. Shaq, you buying or selling that all NFC North teams, aside from the Vikings who aren't playing, will lose this week?
I want to buy, but the tough one for me is honestly the Chiefs and Lions game. Because Kansas City hasn't been looking good either. They've been squeaking by with these wins. Besides, that last game against the Giants, but they've been squeaking by with these wins. So it's kind of like who they both competing for something because they both been to the playoffs multiple years in the last couple of years, and they know whoever wins this game can have that feeling of we beat a playoff team, a good team, and that's going to carry them. So the Lions have a chip on their shoulder, and so do Kansas City.
I don't know about that, Shaq, because if the Lions win, then they just beat a team that's 2-4.
Fitz ain't gonna give this Lion team no credit until they go 16-1. Until they go 16-1. But even then, it's like, yeah, but you know what? The way their schedule looked and the way it ended up, it really wasn't all that. That game's in Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cody, I want to rock with you. I really do. And I hope you're right, but I gotta sell. I'm not sold on the Chiefs. I'm waiting for the Chiefs to do the Chiefs thing, the Mahomes magic to happen. I don't think this is the week that it happens, unfortunately. And the Lions are freaking rolling. I do think that roar at some point gets quieted down, but I just don't think it's this week that it happens. And if you were betting money, I don't think you would bet on the Bengals to beat the Packers. I wouldn't either. So,
I'm betting. Steve said
no, straight up.
Money line.
Let's call it straight up. Let's call it straight up.
No, not
yeah.
money line. But if the spread is 14.5 points, I'm definitely betting on it.
Okay, and that's fair. Like I could probably rock with you on that if we were using the spreads. But just as far as NFC North losing out this week, which would be a great thing, it'd almost be like the Vikings getting a win that they didn't get before the bye if all 4 teams lost. So I will definitely be rooting for it, but I gotta sell it.
Yeah, I hear you. What's the Chiefs' record right now?
Like 2 and 3?
2 and 3. So this is almost like a make or break kind of game for the Chiefs. That's why
very important.
Chiefs. So like I it's a make or break. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, Xavier Worthy is second week being healthy, coming out there on that team. Tyquan Thornton, a guy that the Patriots just threw out, is getting those yards for them. And Isaiah Pacheco is starting to build up to his old self before the injury, or that he was like before the injury. And I really like the Chiefs over Lions this week. The Bengals Packers scares me because we don't know what Joe Flacco is coming with. But I do think Joe Flacco is going to throw it up there and, hey, Jamar Chase, go catch that ball. That's the only reason why, and that's why I think it's going to happen.
I will say this: I am getting Higgins back into my fantasy lineups just because I think there's a chance he could be productive now, and I don't got to play some wide receiver 3 from another team like I've been having to do. Right, Fish? Like you've been struggling with that too, Fish, on your fantasy teams.
Yeah, man, that's why I keep thinking I should quit doing fantasy.
And the Bengals wouldn't have.
Tell me about it, bro. You and me both.
And the Bengals wouldn't have made a trade like this, not knowing that they were not going to make the playoffs, right? They think they can still make the playoffs. That's why they made this trade. They got to rebound the ship, right? And I think it starts against the Packers. Sorry, Steve. Take that 14.5 point spread. Just don't take the minus 14.5. Take the plus 14.5, if anything.
Now, since we're at our bye week, it's a good time to check in on the free agents that we signed. Boy, were we very happy about this during the offseason. Do you guys think it was gold or was it fool's gold? Will Fries, Ryan Kelly, Justin Skol, Carson Wentz came at the end. Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, Isaiah Rodgers, Jeff Okudah, Eric Wilson, and Tavier Thomas. I might be missing 1 or 2 here, but this is the main guys that we signed in the offseason. Gold or fool's gold, Fish?
You know what? I think it's gold. The guys, Ryan Kelly's kind of doing what I expected out of him. Unfortunately. Hargrave and Allen are still healthy. But I will tell you that there's a defensive back that we signed that has by far exceeded my expectations because, as you know, I expected Jeff Okudah to not make the 53-man roster. And here he is out there playing. So he has exceeded my expectations by miles.
I knew you weren't going to Isaiah Rodgers. I was trying to remember, like, which cornerback could you be going to? I was like, we don't even have that many cornerbacks. But then I remember that you did say that Jeff Okudah was not going to make it. You had – I can't remember the cat's name.
Vaughn.
Yeah, Jeremiah Vaughn. You had him making it over Jeff Okudah. 5 games, 12. Let's see. What do you think, Shaq, about this free agent list after 5?
Better than expected, but could be better. From the players I didn't really expect much from, they exceeded my expectations, like Isaiah Rodgers, Eric Wilson. But from the players I want more from, Ryan Kelly and Will Fries.
Got that indie slant going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you like the indie guy, Shaq?
I don't know. I kind of figured, if we was going to bring them 2, we was going to bring their captain in. But I guess we couldn't afford the captain, so we settled for the backups. Or the other guys, I should say. Not the backups, the other guys on the Colts offensive line.
Shaq, maybe the fact that maybe we didn't go after Quentin Nelson is because we knew from that point that Donovan Jackson was our guy. So why go after Quentin Nelson when we know that in the draft we're going after Donovan Jackson?
You have a point there, Fish.
Will we be 3-2 right now if we didn't make that move to trade Howell and get wins? What if we kept Howell as our backup quarterback? Will we be 3-2 right
now? No way, bro.
You probably play JJ McCarthy on a hurt ankle.
Yeah, he's out there playing, ruin his career. It's no.
I think that the big question here is the Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen, because I think we've gotten more production out of the guys that we already had on this team than we've gotten out of them. Now, granted, Hargrave, he had 2 sacks, Fish, in that first game, so I'll give him that. But since then, all I've seen him do is change his number and sell the wrong jersey. So I haven't seen much from him since that game.
And I don't even hold it against him.
I know you don't. You're a good soldier. You're a good soldier.
What's crazy about their contracts? They're not per game incentive contracts, so they'll be happy not starting. Just collecting a paycheck on the side. Hey, give me 20% of the snaps. I'll be fine. I'm still getting paid regardless. And that's what angers me about those two guys, Jonathan Allen and Hargrave.
What's crazy about their contracts is they're only guaranteed for 1 season.
Yeah, but they're going to get their 1 season. Nothing's
it.
And then nothing.
I can't believe Cody has given up on the fact that Jonathan Allen's record game is 2 weeks away, and Cody's already ready to throw him aside before he even gets.
Oh no, I'm not ready to throw him aside. I just think whoever's coaching out there on that defensive side, especially that defensive line coach, needs to let those two dudes know, hey, you're getting outplayed by backups. You're getting outplayed by 7th, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, and undrafted free agent players. How does that make you feel?
Well, what they're doing right now is they're so old that they're saying, can you say that in my good ear?
Yeah, hey, it doesn't matter. I'm getting paid this year. That's what they're saying. I'm getting paid regardless. I don't give a shit what you say.
Timmy, you might have to make this bet. So looking at that, but then look at the guys that got away. Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Nick Mullins. What a quarterback room that was for 12 games that we had them all together, or however many it was that we had Daniel Jones on this team. Johnny Munt, Garrett Bradbury, Dalton Reisner, Cam Robinson, Cam Bynum, Jerry Tillery, Jonathan Bullard. And I'm actually missing one. Patrick Jones, huh?
Yeah. But there's nothing on there to take Jonathan Allen away or Hargrave. That's the scary thing.
If we'd have kept Garrett Bradbury and made him into a fullback, we would not be so worried about our center position right now.
What's up, nerd? Shaq, one guy on this list that we should have kept that would have made our team better than they are right now.
I gotta go with Jonathan Bullard. He was our number 1 run stopper from last year. Ever since he left, our run defense just went downhill.
I appreciate it. That's good content right there. What about you, Cody? Is there one guy on this list that you say we bring him back, we're a little bit better than we are right now?
Hey, I'm wearing the man's jersey, right? I'm a big JJ McCarthy supporter. I want him to be really, really good. But it's Sam Darnold. It's the Ginger Jesus. It's the guy that got us 14 wins last year. It's the guy that kept this offense rolling, right? We know what's going to happen during the playoffs. We're going to lose a game. I mean, even with McCarthy on the field, takes us to the playoffs, we're going to get the same thing probably. We're not going to get a Super Bowl, the thing we want right now, right? I would rather have seen J.J. McCarthy sit behind Sam Darnold one more year, knowing that we're going to lose in that first round, right? Knowing that we're going to lose in that first round. But he is gaining experience. His cleats are actually touching grass. He's taking snaps from an offensive line instead of wearing his Nikes, his running shoes, and looking at a tablet. I'd rather see Sam Darnold out there with us right now on a 1-year contract and getting McCarthy more reps under center, actually taking snaps and developing in behind the scenes than what we're seeing right now. Because right now it's basically, hey man, here's the fire, go deal with it, and that's what we're seeing with J.J. McCarthy, feeding him to the wolves right now.
See, I thought Shaq was going to take that one, but that's why I appreciate that he went another route, and then he actually made a case for it. So I appreciate that. And yeah, I think Sam Darnold will kind of be an obvious one as a hindsight pick. I remember Rinaldi last year. He was really big on bringing Sam Darnold back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every show he was talking about, well, if we don't bring Sam back, we're going to regret it. We're going to regret it. Look who's laughing. Look who's laughing now.
Yeah, he's not wrong in a way. And I wanted J. McCarthy to come out. Maybe it's just bias, you know, like it was just, you know, the hype. Like, yeah, let's go McCarthy. You know, he's going out there. He's going to turn the world for us. One playoff win. That's all we need from him. I don't even think we're going to win with him this year.
Fish, why is it Nick Mullins?
As much as I did want to sort of lead up by saying, yeah, it's a quarterback and then go to Nick Mullins, I thought that's way too predictable for me. Here's my low-key, sneaky missed free agent. I miss having the best tight end 3 in the game right now. Hawkinson hasn't quite caught off. You know, Oliver's doing what he's doing. But Johnny Munt was always good for third down conversion a game. He was a decent blocker. He had good hands. He was a good pass catcher. Sometimes he'd even have 3 receptions in a game and kind of keep us moving. And of that list right there are a couple of players that I'd rather have, like Nick Mullins. And I jokingly said Garrett Bradbury, but now it doesn't sound like too much of a joke. But really, have we even seen a tight end 3 out there on the field? Have we heard their name called? Nah.
Well, we haven't, because Ben Urasek's been on IR. I believe he might be coming back, so we might get to hear his name. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, here's hoping, but the defense is not the problem, right? The offense is, and as many weapons as possible, and especially a nice little security blanket of yet another tight end that our young quarterback could go to in a pinch. Somebody who can get open, and somebody who can help block too.
I didn't think I would, but I kind of miss Cam Bynum. And I don't know that necessarily makes us a lot better than we are right now, but I do miss him. He was a big part of our defensive identity. He was a sure tackler. And just kind of seeing Harrison Smith out there, man, I don't know that he's going to, be the answer for the whole season, especially if they start asking to ramp up snaps. Right now, he's playing like 20 snaps a game. I don't know if he can get up into the upper 30s, 40s. With Cam Bynum back there, with Metellus and Theo Jackson, I think I'll feel a little bit better and kind of just letting Harrison Smith coast to a Super Bowl with us. Hater love his dances. That did stuff for this defense. That did stuff for the team. It was like the KOC effect, Fish. Like, it just, I don't know. It gelled. And I've seen him playing well in Indianapolis, and, I don't like that either. I don't like seeing, my ex doing well. I want to see him doing bad. But he made this a little easier today when I saw a comment came out when he was talking about how good the Colts roster is and how it's the most complete team he's ever been a part of.
Yeah, and Metellus has been not good this year for us at all. And you add in Theo Jackson in there, who has limited snaps from last year. Again, basically a brand new player. It has not been good on the safety positions for us.
No, I'm not gonna say that Theo's been mid. I honestly don't have a big read on Theo. He hasn't been asked to do too much. I mean, we're giving up 150 yards passing a game. So it's not like, we're getting burnt on deep passes. The biggest pass we gave up, I blame on Ivan Pace and Harrison Smith. I don't know. I don't really. I like Theo Jackson in the role that he played leading up to this season, and I was ready to see him take on a bigger role. But to be honest, I don't have a read on him.
Yeah,
as far as what he's been doing.
And I'm all. I think it's because we're not getting sacks, right? But we're getting pressures. The pressures are doing a lot of that work for them safeties, right? But when you do see the quick pass, and it's always on a safety, it's always on Metellus, or it's always on Harrison Smith, or it's always on a linebacker. That's troublesome to see.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna bring up something you guys might not want to see.
Please don't. That's about right.
These were our off-season grades.
That's about right. Besides the line.
I mean, we ain't get to see our offensive line. So.
Besides last game, man, that's about right.
Huh?
So you got our tight ends at an A?
Hell no.
Yeah, more so like at a C.
I got him.
Yeah.
I got him at a high B because of what Oliver's done in the red zone. We're the 10th best scorer in red zone efficiency percentage wise, and it's 2 of them gone to Isaiah Oliver.
Can we stop playing Jonathan Allen? Eventually, they might have to. If the young guys keep stepping up, eventually they're gonna have to swallow that contract and let them sit or play sparingly. Yeah, offensive line's absolutely not an A. It probably went up to a D after last game, and that was playing with backups, so that's not saying much. And a little of a benefit of the doubt that what we did grade hasn't played a snap together.
Yep.
And they probably won't. But yeah, that's probably the biggest miss there. Quarterback, I mean, it's up to a C now. I mean, you would have asked us week 3 or 4, we might have said it's a D. Running back, are you guys go with a B?
Yeah.
And receivers, are we still an A with wide receivers?
Yeah, 100%. Especially what Jordan has.
I don't know. Thielen might have knocked them down to a B.
I'm close to that B plus A minus range.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in an A still.
I'm an A.
I think I'm still at A because I think actually Naylor's been pretty damn good. We haven't asked him to do a lot, but he's made some big catches and big plays. So
an overthrown pass from McCarthy in that Atlanta game definitely sends that over the A.
Oh yeah. So that's not too bad. But yeah, the offensive line, that one made me laugh. I'm like, damn, we really gave that O-line A. How gassed were we on this free agency?
Well, I didn't think we knew if they were all going to be healthy to start the year.
Oh, we did it.
It just all happened like the week before the season started. Guess what?
Nobody's healthy.
Well, some of us may have called that one of them was going to start on the pup, and that didn't happen. So
no, but you made like 3 other injury predictions for him, and those are all hitting. So you're good in that department.
Hate the Vikings injury PR or whatever. Like we found out halfway through offseason that Darisol could be ready for week 1. Like he's practicing, and we're like, oh yeah, we're going. And then he didn't show up week 1. It was like a disaster.
Fish, who starts against the Eagles? JJ or Wentz?
Wentz.
Cody, who starts? JJ or Wentz?
It's Wentz. That was my calls at 1 week. And
Shaq, who's starting? JJ or Wentz against the Eagles?
Wentz.
I got Wentz too. So there you have it, Ronald. We got 4 Wentzes. We'll see how that game goes. See what happens after that. Defensive grades. We got a defensive line at an A. Our edges and outside linebackers at an A. Inside linebackers at a B. Cornerbacks a C. Safeties a C.
Move them cornerbacks up to an A.
I can't get there.
Yeah, I'd go
cornerback. We have an A cornerback, but we also have like a D cornerback and an F cornerback.
We got a D and an F, and we're only giving up 150 yards passing on average.
Well, because part of that is because of our defense, and part of that is because they're running against us, not passing.
It's not an individual position. This is a team position.
So I'll say, all C's besides edge and cornerbacks, those could be B's. But the rest of it, I just see straight C's for this defense.
I don't get that at all.
I think I got the defensive line at a B. I think our edge and linebackers are at a low B right now, to be honest. Like they're good, they're doing serviceable, but they're not getting to the quarterback.
They're getting pressures though, which helps out that cornerback.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
And like Ronaldo used to always say when he was on here, he would always say a pressure is just as good as a sack.
And it has been. That's what's keeping our cornerbacks.
Okay, I hate to bring this up, but when you look at you may be saying they can't get to the quarterback and thinking Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. How many sacks does Redmond have on the season?
Redmond has 3, but he's not an edge or outside linebacker.
I'm talking about the defensive lineman. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I was thinking of them. Because taking them down to a C, that's pretty hard.
Yeah,
they're not great against the run, but I mean, LDR has a sack or 2, Ingram has a sack, Redmond has 3, Hargrave has 2. So even though like we don't have an interior defensive lineman, the same one showing up every week, getting pressures and sacks, somebody is.
yes. It's
one of them is every
it's not
week.
an
Defensive line
thing. This is a group thing.
Okay.
But the defensive line, so the defensive line's a B against the pass, but an F against the run. It's a C.
It's a B. You happy? Ain't no A.
I actually think it's an A against the pass.
Yeah,
And an F against the run, that's a B.
pressures are there.
Still a C. Where's Robbie at? Robbie needs to do our GPAs here, but I think an A and an F would average out to a C.
I don't know. Chase Brown didn't do shit against us.
Has he done
Well,
shit?
he didn't done shit against anybody.
Can't. That offensive-
You know who he's done shit against? My fantasy team, which I have him on.
Yeah, I know. But like the defensive line, I give it a B. Edges, hey, we saw Dallas. The pressures are there from the D line. They're just not getting the sacks, right? Greenard's getting pressures. Dallas Turner's getting a lot of pressures. That to me, that's an A. All right. Inside linebackers, that's where I think the weakest portion is at for us. Because last year we saw our inside linebackers blitzing heavy, and that's what made us a really good run stuffing defense. Right. It wasn't the D linemen where you have 3 versus 5. Right. You got to send those linebackers. We haven't seen much of our inside linebackers being sent in the center. And maybe it's because we signed Hargrave and we signed Allen thinking they can get there. I didn't see that in a lot of these games. Not like last year, we constantly sent them. And cornerbacks, I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give it an A because our front 7 has been giving them an A. As safeties, I would stick it as a C still, just because Metellus and Harrison Smith have been bad against the short passes.
I'm BBCBC. Shaq's saying BBC, huh?
Isn't that what you just said? Isn't that what you just said?
BBCBC.
But it's crazy. We're giving our defense lower grades than our offense, yet our defense is better than our offense.
So why is that though?
Go back to the office real quick.
Maybe the grades are wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Oof.
No. We changed these grades.
I know. I'm just trying to.
Okay, so I went C, A,
C.
C.
So you gave an A over no A's on the defensive side.
Oh, me or Fish?
Fish.
Yeah, I gave an A to our wide receivers.
Yes, over our defensive side, which our defensive side is better.
Well, I think I might have said, didn't I say that?
You said D line.
Wasn't I ready to give an A to the cornerbacks, and I was kind of talked out of it?
Yeah.
I thought you gave our wide receivers a B because of Thielen.
No, I was joking. I said
Okay.
I said Thielen makes it a C, but no. I mean, Miles Price is considered part of that wide receiver room, right?
Yeah, I mean, he do special teams work for us. So I can't be too mad at it.
Yeah, it's still wild looking at the stats. I don't think I give any position group on the defense an A.
There had to be
Like the cornerbacks,
the corners.
it's Isaiah Rodgers.
But I don't feel like we haven't even seen our corners and safeties really get tested this year.
Oh, we saw our safeties get tested a lot by a lot of good tight ends this year. Kyle Pitts. We saw Kyle Pitts in Atlanta or in Minnesota. We watched that guy play.
We'll revisit this again. But I thought we would have been way farther off. I guess not too bad. You guys got Gallahorns? All right, Fish, hit it with us. Hit us with it. I'm off tonight.
Do the Vikings sign somebody during the bye week before we play again? Sign or trade?
Yes, because we just re-signed Nick Van Nett.
That doesn't count.
Back to the active roster.
It wasn't to the practice squad?
No, to the active roster. He went back up.
Let me specify. Do we sign a free agent or do we trade for somebody prior to playing the Eagles?
I want to say yes, but I don't think Quasi and Kelsey is going to get it done. I think they kind of want to see what they got. I want to say yes though to that question.
I say yes because they have to get a center. They have to. They can't just think that Brando's going to, hold it down for an extended period of time. And Ryan Kelly most likely is not coming back. Juergens is not the answer. And honestly, there's not just going to be a center out there to go sign. You're going to have to trade. And you might have to give up some capital we don't want to give up to get a starting caliber center. Like the Ravens. That's what I didn't want to say because don't want to jinx it, but that's where I'm going with it. That's where I went with it last week. That's where I'm still going with it. So yeah, Fish, I think they do.
I'm going to say no. They're not going to sign anybody during this bye week. I don't think they sign anybody until they know what kind of team they actually have a week prior to November 17th. I.e. the trade deadline, i.e. whether this team is a playoff team or not. I think they're just going to stick what they got, play it forward. All right. If we are 6-2 at the right before the deadline, then yeah, we're going to think about trading for someone to bolster this roster. But right now, they're just dealing with what they got dealt.
What about you, Fish? What do you think?
I think no. Obviously what you said, Keith, would in a logical sense make all the sense in the world. We need a center. But maybe the fact that little ragtag group of players played so well last weekend, and then you start looking at who we've got coming up, and maybe they might have watched this game tonight and thought, well, maybe the Eagles aren't all that up on their front. There's something wrong, and the Lions aren't exactly known for their front, their interior defensive line. So they might be just drunk enough to say, maybe we can make it. We'll find out if Ryan Kelly's coming back. And if not, we'll do something about a trade deadline. So I hate to say it, but I don't think they will.
I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and the Vikings will have traded a second-round pick for Lindbaum.
And you know what? I'll be happier than a pig in shit.
Well, at least you'll be happy about it. Like, I really don't want to trade our draft picks. Like, I'm happy with the amount of picks that we have. I'm not doing the F-them picks. The draft was terrible to watch this year. I want my picks. But if we can get a center who could be our center for the next 6-7 years, yeah, I'll give up that second rounder for him. So make that happen, Quasi. What do you got for us, Shaq?
Okay, so this is kind of a two-parter, but it's the same question. Now that it's the bye week and we've seen a couple games this season, what's one positive storyline and one negative storyline you can see this season, how this season unfold for the Vikings?
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and take the easy one since I'm speaking first, but a positive would definitely be Isaiah Rodgers, would be Jalen Redmond, two guys that nobody could have seen coming on and actually, being good for this Minnesota Vikings football team. It would have to take a genius to have seen this coming. So those are definitely a bright spot for this team. A negative thing could be that if JJ McCarthy never shows us something this season, like, that would be the worst possible scenario. Like JJ McCarthy gets a chance to come back and he does nothing with it. So Isaiah Rodgers, Jalen Redmond on that defense, that's my bright side. What could possibly be the negative side is if McCarthy doesn't do anything to give us hope.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you right there, Keith. I'm going to mix my positive and negative together. I'm going to say positive negative is Dallas Turner shows more progression as a later first-round draft pick than JJ McCarthy does.
Wait. Say that again.
My positive and negative thing is going to be a together thing. Is our later first-round draft pick, Dallas Turner, shows more progression than what JJ McCarthy does.
Okay, yeah. So that's a good and a bad thing. Because good that Dallas Turner is doing his thing, but bad that he's doing better than our franchise quarterback. And
it sucks, too, because you look at prior drafts, there's always one bad quarterback that turns out to be a bust in the first round when there's a massive influx of quarterbacks in the first round. You look at the Marino, Elway, Boomer draft, and then you got that one bad one, whoever went to the Jets that year. So, yeah.
Go ahead, Fish.
Positive. Jordan Mason has gotten the start from the injuries to Aaron Jones, and he's definitely run with it. He's helped us out a lot in the red zone, being able to just punch that ball in. Negatives. Our defense is inconsistent against the run. 1 week we'll shut down somebody. The next week, Bijan Robinson just tears us apart. And it seems to go 1 week we're great, the other week we're not. 1 week we're great, the other week we're not. So we were really good against no, we were not. We played the Browns and Judkins ran like fire on us. So there's a strong possibility that we're going to shut Saquon Barkley down next week.
Hopefully.
What about you, Shaq?
So the positive for the season, I'm going to say that the Vikings, the storyline will be if we we make the playoffs and win a playoff game, KLC could take that monkey off his back and show that he belongs in the NFL with the top tier offensive head coaches. Negative storyline would pretty much be like what you said. JJ McCarthy doesn't really show nothing this year in his second year, and then we're kind of still wondering going into next season the quarterback situation.
Yep, that would be pretty crappy. And since mine's with the quarterbacks, I'm gonna go ahead and go next. And I don't know, I might have asked this before, but I'm gonna ask it again. Would you rather the Vikings ride with Carson Wentz for the rest of the season and we're guaranteed to win at least one playoff game, or JJ McCarthy comes back this week, leads us to the playoffs, but we're guaranteed to lose that first playoff game?
It doesn't matter. The disappointment is inevitable. Regardless, I'm picking the 20s or I'm not. I don't. It's the disappointment is inevitable, man. I don't even want to answer that question because we see that question year in and year out with the Minnesota Vikings, and it's kind of getting old.
So your answer is
undecided.
Oh, this is easy. I want to win a fucking playoff game. We're guaranteed one, right? That gives us a shot at 2 and go. I don't care who our quarterback is. I want to win the Super Bowl. I just happen to think our best chance is with J.J. McCarthy over Wentz.
But he said you only win one playoff game, Fish.
No, I said at least one.
Oh.
You're guaranteed to win one. The thing is in that scenario, I say go with Wentz. But in my heart of hearts, I believe that we are more likely to get to the playoffs but lose the playoff game with Wentz. Because it's obvious we can see his ceiling. When the pressure gets put on, he's going to fold. And so, but yes, if it's a choice between Wentz and a guarantee to at least win a playoff game, we're rolling that because I don't care who it is. I don't care if the cheerleaders have to get out there and play. If it means we win a game, we win a game.
I will take our cheerleaders against any other team's cheerleaders in a game of football.
Okay, so we do win one playoff game with McCarthy, but next year doesn't look so good with Cap, right? So then, was it because of McCarthy or was it because the players around him?
I don't know. I'd love to have a chance to find out.
Yeah.
What are you taking, Shaq? The guaranteed playoff win with wins, or we get to the playoffs with McCarthy, but we're guaranteed to lose that first game?
I might have to say guaranteed playoff win because, a bowl is back down to the quarterback we had 2 years ago.
Kirk Cousins?
Because, everybody likes to bring up the fact that the Vikings can't win games without Kirk Cousins. So, if we can,
it always comes back to Kirk.
If we can win another playoff game with a quarterback out of free agency that nobody expected, by golly me.
In the year of our Lord, 2075, the Vikings fans are still talking about Kirk Cousins.
As long as Shaq's still ticking, they will.
Yeah.
And every time we should have kept Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
On the tombstone, we should have kept Sam Darnold
for a year at least.
So for me, I'm taking J.J. McCarthy and the playoff loss because I don't think, wins might get us that playoff win, and boy, do I want a playoff win. But like Cody's kind of saying, I don't know that it goes much farther than that. We're not guaranteed more than that. I'd rather see J.J. McCarthy go out there and go through this gauntlet of 12 games, and he got us into the damn playoffs. That means he was a successful quarterback this season. If J.J. McCarthy leads us to the playoffs, he was successful this year, and that gives me hope. That's as bad as a Viking fan to say I got hope, but that gives me hope for the future. Like, okay, we are on the right path with our quarterback. We expected too much this season in the offseason. We expected it to be a Super Bowl year, and it didn't work out. I want to see J.J. McCarthy develop and look like the quarterback that Robbie hopes he's not.
Steve came out with, should the Vikings trade for Russ? Why would you trade for Russell Wilson if we have a quarterback that's better than Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Not even a deemed a starter in Carson.
He failed in
Steve,
Denver.
should you trade for Russell Wilson?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Russell
We have
failed in Denver, failed in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
And has failed in New York. Yeah, let's trade for that guy.
That actually sounds like the kind of quarterback that would come at success for us.
Yeah,
well, maybe he'll be the next. Maybe he'll be the next one in QB.
But like Cody said, we already have that. We have a quarterback that failed with the Rams, failed with Washington, failed with the Colts. Didn't really play with the Chiefs, but when he got to play, he got smacked like 38-0. So we kind of already got that going on here.
Yeah. Packer fans.
Ryan Peterson, your expectations and other people's expectations are like, my arms don't spread apart far enough from what they are.
Yeah, it's like
I don't even blame you for your expectations and your negativity, because I feel like I'm not that far away and I still got about 30 years to get to you, and I'll probably be in the same boat.
It's the I want it now crowd. I want it now.
Yep. Me too. I'm not trying to be, like I said in the group chat, I'm not trying to wake up. I'm trying to
flash tired of waiting.
I wake up and feel pain every morning.
Well, Brian don't have much waiting left. I give him about 15 more years.
Rinaldi, that's not lost on any of us that he hasn't had a fair shake. He hasn't played with a good offensive line. He hasn't had Jordan Addison. He hasn't this play calling that he's doing with Wentz. It seems like KOC put the training wheels on Wentz, but said, JJ, nah, you go ahead and ride this two-wheeler.
Hold on, we might need to delete the conversation about McCarthy not having a good offensive line after watching what we saw last week. That might need to come away. So maybe the training wheels are still on there, but the offensive line is not. It's on there anymore.
I mean, I remember what I saw at that game we went to with Atlanta.
Yeah.
And nah.
Yeah, well, who had the better offensive line? We had a bunch of UDFAs and 7th-round picks.
Okay, who had the offensive line that played better?
Yeah.
Better question.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Who had the better play calling?
Who had Darisaw on their blind side and who had Skol on their blind side?
Both did.
Yeah, but who had 3 out of the
Skol played on the right.
Who had 3 of the 5 starters playing?
And you know what? 2 of those 3 out of the 5 starters got pushed right back into the QB immediately.
Yeah.
It's not.
He had 2 starters.
Who had the offensive line who played better?
Okay.
Offensive line was dog shit.
Time out. Kelly went out during the game against the Falcons.
Okay. Then hear me out. When J.D. McCarthy comes back, we're going to start Darisaw, the whole Browns offense that we played against the Browns. No, even if Donovan Jackson's healthy, we're not starting him.
Oh, how? Are you going to call KLC and tell him?
No, we're going to
do it.
No.
We have a bet.
We're going to go the same fucking logic. We're not going to start Donovan Jackson, and we're going to put Brandel at center. All right, and we're going to take Darisaw out in the 4th quarter on a 9-for-9 game-winning drive and throw Rouse in there. And we're going to take and Ryan O'Neal's not even going to play in the game. Okay, even though he played in the game with J.D. McCarthy.
Okay.
Right? We're going to add that same offensive line we had against the Browns.
Okay.
With J.J. McCarthy.
Okay, so I'm with you as long as they perform the same way they did against the Browns. If JJ gets that same protection that Carson Wentz got, then okay. I don't give a fuck what their name is.
But okay, yep. Thanks for doing that for me.
What's wrong with Jurgens again?
Hamstring.
He don't be moving that much.
That's what I was thinking when I heard hamstring for a center. Does that matter?
I guess I'm
hiking. Maybe that's an old injury from when he was in college, and that's why he doesn't move that much.
Maybe that's why Sam Hartman transferred.
But let's be honest though. If we put that same offensive line with the Browns that we had with Jim McCarthy does bad, but we got to give him that same opportunity with the starters back in there, right? That maybe he plays better with that.
Hey, Cody, let me simplify this for you. Let me get Darisaw back for JJ McCarthy because that's never happened.
Okay.
Can my man's blind side get protected?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's it. After that, whatever, man.
If it's not good, then it's not good. I'm sorry. I gotta sell 2 jerseys. I got 2 jerseys McCarthy. Gotta get rid of it.
Be honest. Did you order the Wentz in white or purple?
I don't have a Wentz one. I don't want to.
I know it's not here yet, but which one did you order?
It's like the Sam Darnold jersey. There's no staying power for some reason.
Oh, what are you talking about? You don't think JD's got staying power?
Well, if he keeps getting injured or plays bad, then there's no staying power here. Sorry.
Let's see. When we get all of our guys healthy, it'll be a different conversation. Or is it going to be the same old Vikings thing?
Go.
Hey, same question I just basically asked. That's pretty good. Way to go, Ruben.
I don't know. I find it hard to answer this one because it's tricky. Because what's the same old Viking theme? Like we're gonna win 14 games and then lose in the first round of the playoffs. Like what theme are we talking about here? I do think we're gonna see a different team when we get Cashman back and we get Van Ginkel back and you throw Aaron Jones in this mix. I do think we're going to, look better than we've looked the past couple games.
But without a Super Bowl, then next year we lose a lot of players, correct?
If we want cap space, if we just want to run it back, we could.
Could we run it back with $65 million in the hole?
That's why we're in the hole.
Just trying to make things make sense. So
don't, because none of it makes sense. Don't.
It don't. That's why I'm trying to.
How about this? How much would we save if we just cut Byron Murphy?
None.
30,
20.
Yeah,
No,
20.
20.
So we're still under 45.
How much is it? He's guaranteed how much money?
I don't remember the guarantees, but the guarantees equaled up to like 16 a year or something like that.
I'm tired of paying players to not be on this team no more. We finally got rid of Kirk Cousins' contract.
Oh, well, I can't speak on that because we just had our field goal kicker hit a freaking camera, which you've never seen before. So yeah, we probably will get. I wish you didn't bring that up, Ruben. I really wish you didn't speak that into existence.
Yeah,
I mean,
you didn't watch the game, did you, Ruben?
I think
all right. So
how the season's gonna go.
I did want to get a theme going with this, but we didn't. So why don't we go ahead and get into our hot takes? Who's ready? Of course, Fish, you're like teacher's pet when it comes to this one. You're always ready. Can I turn my homework in first?
Here's an apple.
Here's an apple. Shaq, how come what are you writing, Shaq? why are you still filling that in? Didn't you do your homework? All right, Fish, go ahead. Lead us off.
Chicago Bears are going to win the game this weekend on a Hail Mary pass.
I gotta ask you, did you have that coming into this, or did it just click during the segment?
Just organically grew and blossomed during this show.
Oh, I hate that one because I want Cody's call it to hit, so I hate that one. I'm gonna go with mine, and my hot take is: in Week 9 of this NFL season, J.J. McCarthy will lead the Minnesota Vikings to a win over the Detroit Lions.
I love that hot take. That's probably my favorite hot take of yours you've ever said.
So, despite anything
I
I've
don't
said,
even really think it's that hot, but yeah.
All right, Cody, what do you got?
My hot take. It's going to be something with another wide receiver, a couple wide receivers in Jordan Addison's class. I'm going to say JSN, Quentin Johnston, and where's the other guy at? Zay Flowers all outpace Jordan Addison in receiving yards this year.
Like from this point forward?
No, from the year.
So -3 games.
Yeah, -3 games. I mean, Quentin Johnston's garbage. Everyone's been saying. I've been hearing, right?
But -3 games.
So that's good.
I don't think it's that hot.
No. Take away. It doesn't matter about the 3 games. It looks like because I remember you saying Quentin Johnston was garbage. He's looking.
He is garbage.
You're giving our guy a 3-game penalty and saying these 3 guys are going to get more yards.
Hey, not my fault for the 3-game penalty and then showing up drunk for a walk.
But that just doesn't make it hot. I mean,
yeah, that's not hot. He's going to play 14 games and they played 17.
All right, how about
they're going to get more yards.
How about this? JSN will outpace Justin Jefferson in receiving yards this year.
that's a lot hotter.
That's a lot hotter.
It's
So
hotter
far,
than
right
this
now,
thing.
JSN is second in the league in receiving yards, and in third place is Justin Jefferson. Only reason why Justin Jefferson's in third place is Carson Wentz is throwing the goddamn football, and not JJ McCarthy. I'm sorry. That is what it is. Bring back JJ McCarthy, it's going to hit.
Bro, take that jersey off.
I'm sorry, man. This is what it is. Not to break the news to anybody.
Take that jersey off. The Wentz one's in the mail.
No, it's not. I can't own it. I would have a Sam Darnold one if that was the facts.
You're gonna name your new baby Carson, aren't you?
No, I'm probably gonna name it
Wentz.
actually JJ.
All right, Shaq. What's your hot take?
Oh, I just forgot it. Hold on. Let me refresh. All right. Caleb Williams and Sam Darnold will both have 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns.
Can you
Damn.
say this weekend?
This week.
Heavy on that. Heavy
Need it
on
for the clip.
Arnold picks.
Caleb and
Damn.
Sam, 303.
Yeah, a piece.
It's heavy on those Sam Darnold picks right now.
Could have thrown Daniel Jones in there.
He doesn't kind of fit the.
Oh, USC quarterbacks. Got it. Yeah, Cody, it's gonna be tough to clip.
Yeah, I know. Well, we was arguing
But I
against
will.
it. Clip both of them. Sorry, Jordan Addison. For being a fuck up. I'm sorry. I'm mad at Jordan Addison. That's all.
I mean, if you were to say week 4 on, then you got something, and I think
week
Addison
4
won
on. I
that.
can go week 4 on too. I can definitely go
All right,
week 4 on too.
So let's do this part for my clip. So Cody, you're starting this from week 4 to the end of the season.
Week 4 till the end of the season. Quentin Johnson, Jackson Smith and Njigba, and Zay Flowers will have more receiving yards than Jordan Addison.
You're crazy.
Zay Flowers is the only one I'm worried about because without Lamar, it's kind of tough. But the other two, I'm not worried about at all with the route they're going.
Cody, why is this guy congratulating you?
Oh, because I'm my wife just found out she is pregnant. I have a full solid 5 offensive linemen now. 3 of them are girls, right? And they play better than what the Minnesota Vikings have done the first 3 weeks of this year. I'm gonna let you know that right now. But yes,
Cody, let me tell you, this is new age. Your wife is not pregnant. You guys are pregnant.
yeah.
You're supposed to say we're pregnant. That's how you say it now.
Where?
Weird.
Cody, I need you to
Weird.
establish something with the new young whippersnapper as soon as possible. I will not be accepting artwork from them. I will only be accepting artwork from your daughter.
Yeah.
So they do not get to fall into that lane.
Yeah. I think hopefully it's a boy. We'll feed it a bunch of HGH and some steroids. It's either going to be a running back or a quarterback. Depends on if it gets to 6'2" or not.
It could be 5'11" in Kim Scatabo.
Yeah, the running back situation. There we go.
All right, fellas. I don't have to work tomorrow, so we can probably go another 2 hours if you're game, Fish.
Well, I mean, earlier you said something about it being a shorter show, so I thought we'd probably hit midnight.
Nah, I'm gonna try to get us out of here before we hit 3 hours. So, Shaq, final words.
Final words is like that. Scroll text us, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. We're a growing podcast. Let's Go Podcast. If you're feeling real generous, you can send donations to the Cash App at Let's Go, $ Let's Go, or if you go on YouTube and click the little $ button. We're not forcing you to, but we greatly appreciate it. Congratulations again, Cody, on your newborn coming soon. And enjoy your bye week, fellas. We don't have to worry about the Vikings losing.
Somehow, I'm still gonna be worried about them. I don't know. I'm gonna come with some plans and send them to KOC. What do you got, Fish?
For Vikings fans, by Vikings fans, let's go to another 20 years, gentlemen, and to a stress-free weekend where I personally don't have to go balls to the wall at work on Sunday to try to make it for an aftercare or even to see the game. We'll talk again next week about that. Thank you to everybody for joining us who joined us, especially the ones that tuned in after the game too. And yeah, congratulations, Cody. Let's see, this is October, so oh boy, she's going to be dead on pregnant as the heat rolls in July. I'm sorry, but hopefully you'll have you'll have a Leo. Speaking from Leo-edness, and thank you once again for everybody for joining us. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, Cody, don't be missing no practices.
Hey, July. I'm excited for it. for the new one coming on the way. This will be number 5, right? It's like a massive family. But my dad, he's a kid of 5. I'm a kid of 5, so it just runs in 5s around these things and the Bowden parts. So that's how it's going to be. This is the last one, promise. But don't be that person on a Thursday night knowing the weekend's around the corner to where you're going to miss 3 days of work and your first meeting in the morning, right? Not everyone's Jordan Addison to where you can miss that first meeting and knowing the fuck was going on later on throughout the game or the work day, and you just come out as a superstar. Not all of us are superstars. So play the right thing, be the right person, right? If you're not good, at least be good at it. And other than that, hey, let's go.
All right. Thank you, everybody who joined us and chatted with us. We appreciate it. We need you guys here so we can do it. Cody, congratulations. That's awesome news. He let us know that right before we got on here. So, it was kind of a shocker to all of us. But, man, congratulations. That's awesome. Everybody else, we'll see you guys next week. Let's Skol.
Let's go.